call today to get started.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Dodgers will be turning to a two-time AL Cy Young Award winner as they look to snap a season-high tying four-game losing streak tonight. Newly acquired lefty Tarik Skubal will make his Los Angeles debut against the Cubs, and Tarik Skubal will be Tarik Skubal, believes ESPN baseball analyst Eduardo Perez.
You're going to see a fastball that's going to be around 96 to 98 miles per hour. He could touch 100, but he's going to stay within himself. He has to stay within himself, because the fastball alone will not work. You'll have to throw that changeup. It gets a 50% whiff in and out of the zone. And also that curveball. Hitters are only hitting 105 against the curveball.
The Falcons making Bijan Robinson the highest paid running back in NFL history. Sides agreed on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. Ravens and receiver Zay Flowers agreed on a 4-year extension, $140 million, $108 million guaranteed. Cleveland's WNBA team, set to debut in 2028, introduced its name, the Sirens, for Lake Erie's power and pull.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up on Wednesday, one of the biggest sins in sports was committed. It's not exactly what you think. I'll tell you why this trend needs to end. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Cassie Spazzale.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We have a ton to do today. Uncle Larry here in 1 hour. Jake Crane will be here. Colin Jeter in hour 3. Jeff Christensen, who runs the Throw It Deep Academy, where the quarterbacks and receivers were this past week, and he'll be here in hour number 3. A ton to do. Let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, a few weeks ago, over at LouisianaSports.net, we broke a story that LSU, TAF President Matt Borman sent a letter to the top 40 donors for LSU athletics, inviting them to the governor's mansion to hear a presentation from LSU System President Dr. Wade Roos that would be first of its kind, as they phrased it. Well, that meeting happened last night, the second of which will happen on Wednesday. And over the course of the day today, I've been able to catch up with, both on and off the record, several people who were in attendance at that meeting. And we're going to start the show today with Charles Harvey of Southern Regional Medical, who was at the governor's mansion for the meeting last night. He's good enough to join us in studio and basically tell us what happened. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. So tell us what happened, man. We're making all this money. We're saving the world.
I don't know about making money and saving the world, but definitely things are looking up for LSU and the state of Louisiana as far as athletics.
Okay, let's maybe just do some procedural stuff to go through all this. So we reported that email went out to the top 40 LSU athletics donors. How many people were in attendance at the governor's mansion?
I didn't count, but there was probably about 25 to 30 people.
Okay.
Not all donors. You had Verge Osbury, Dr. Roos, Dr. Jim Dalton, the governor, Liz Murrell, AG, Let me think of who else was there. Quite a few people. Matt Borman, Krista Rainey from the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people, and a bunch of donors.
The one that maybe is getting the most attention outside of Baton Rouge is Greg Williams, who we'll talk about in just a little bit, because that's a key component of all this. So you and I spoke earlier today, and by the way, if you missed the story we published, you can go read it for free over at louisianasports.net. So you hear that you've been invited to this meeting at the governor's mansion, and your first thought is what?
An ask. And they assured everybody, look, you're not coming in. We're not asking you for money. We just want to unveil this plan and this model that we have to try and I'm going to use kind of what they used last night is perpetual revenue generator for LSU. And so everybody was skeptical. I know I was. I can't speak for everybody. I was definitely skeptical. When LSU comes calling, usually it's for money. And so, I put on my big boy pants. I went to the governor's mansion. You and I talked about this earlier. An article came out yesterday that this private equity deal was done. LSU already signed off on it. And so you get to the governor's mansion. It's a very quaint little group. Everybody's sitting in the hallway of the governor's mansion. And that was the talk. This is going to be a private equity. They're going to tell us what they've already done. The mood was kind of somber. Like, look, I don't like private equity when it comes to LSU. I just don't agree with it. Private equity eats everything up. They control everything. And so I said, well, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's hear what they have to say. We sat down, and the governor came in, and he spoke. First thing he said was, private equity is not an option right now. This isn't what we're talking about, private equity. We're not talking about private equity. And so then Dr. Roos got up. Greg Williams got up. I just met him last night. Another attorney got up that helped them formulate this plan, and then they unveiled the plan. And they basically showed what everybody knows, Matt. Everybody knows LSU and college athletics. It's not just LSU. College athletics is in trouble. You can't sustain what you're doing right now. It's impossible. NIL is not going to go backwards. It's only going to keep growing. And so,
what did they? I'm sorry. Let me just. So we just said.
Absolutely.
What did they tell you all about? You said LSU athletics is in trouble. I would presume they showed some type of financials. What did they sift through?
So they showed everything that we've all seen. LSU TAF has been supplementing LSU athletics, and this isn't by anybody's fault. It's not. You've changed out some coaches. You have some buyouts that you have to pay out, which isn't palatable to some people, but it's part of business, right? This is just part of athletics.
The guy's house you were in last night wasn't super keen on buyouts.
No, he wasn't. And that question came up.
Yeah.
And so they just showed you how much money TAF has moved over to athletics in the last 6 years.
What's the number? Do you remember?
177.5.
So TAF
TAF
has supplemented LSU athletics to the tune of $177 million, roughly. in the last 6 years?
6 years.
Okay.
Hats off to Matt Borman for raising this kind of money and TAF being as strong as it is to do it. Unfortunately, it's not sustainable. We all know that. TAF is starting to get into their reserves, and it's just not going to happen. Like, you can't do it. And it's not, like I said, it's not just LSU. Texas. I know everybody thinks Texas, big money people, they got all the money. They don't. They're in trouble. They're looking for ways to, I don't want to say, when I say trouble, I don't mean they're going bankrupt tomorrow, but people need to learn how to make revenue-generating avenues to sustain what's going on today.
Sure. Look, even Ohio State and Notre Dame just did jersey patch deals.
Top three. Look, LSU was the first one to put the patches on, right? Yeah. Now everybody's following suit. And so they showed that. And that wasn't something that the average person should know. They hear about it. They don't know the exact number, but I've seen the numbers sitting on the TAF board. And so I knew this was coming. I knew this wasn't sustainable. So the governor gives a speech. Dr. Roos gets up, starts unveiling this plan. They did not hand handouts because I've been asked several times, wait a minute, you got something on paper? And I go, no.
I think I asked you that.
Well, it wasn't just you. It wasn't just you. And so,
hey, man, you go send me that document?
No, there is no document. Right. And I wasn't going to pull out my phone and take pictures.
Sure.
So Dr. Roos did a great job. He explained it. An attorney that helped him is helping him formulate this model was there. Then Greg Williams got up. He talked about it. He's a Michigan State fan, huge Michigan State fan. And he even said, he goes, it's everybody in this room is tired of donor fatigue. I know I am. You and I talked about this. I'm in Europe over the summer, and hey, man, we need some money for a sport. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm in Europe. And well, can you point me in the right direction? Well, every person I'm going to point you to is already somebody you've already talked to, or you should be talking to. And so,
how much would you estimate that you get asked, or that you've given? Let's say go back to 2021 when NIL began. If you were to carry,
I've given over $1 million to LSU over the years.
So cumulatively over the years, variety of different sports. What's maybe the biggest amount in one lick?
$500,000.
Okay, so it's escalated.
Oh, absolutely. It starts out at 25, 50. And look, people are going to go, well, why is LSU asking? They have to. That's their job, whether it be TAF, athletics, NIL. I mean, look, this NIL space really blew up. Look, these people, we don't have a Larry Ellison. We don't have a Phil Knight in Louisiana. I'm sure Todd Graves is tired of being asked. I'm sure Holden Spate is tired of being asked.
Yeah.
I know I'm tired, and I'm not asked. I'm not giving what they're giving, but I'm tired. Like it's just like, and you don't want to say no, but you have to. At some point, you just have to.
The line you told me earlier I thought was best was, you work really hard to make money.
I don't want to give it all away.
I don't want to give it all away.
I don't want to give it all away. And look, LSU is a passion of mine, and I do. I love LSU. I truly love LSU. And so, so they roll out this plan, and literally, it's not private equity. It's not. That was probably one of the first statements Dr. Roos made. This is not private equity. LSU will maintain control of this whole deal. And so as they're unveiling it, and you're hearing all of this, and you're watching it, and they're showing you how everything's going to generate this revenue, it's like a light bulb goes off in your head, and like, man, where has this been? Some other schools have tried to model something similar, but some of the portions that LSU has is really to the forefront of all of this. I think LSU will be the first, if this model comes into play, will be the first in the country to do this. And all it's doing is creating a revenue stream that's perpetual, that they don't have to. Now, look, they're going to continue to ask, but just not as large amounts. And you're going to give because you want to give, not because it's a need.
You said if the model comes into play.
They're doing a due diligence. They have some things. I think you said it in the article. They have to get some things signed off by the IRS, and the AG has to sign off on some things to make sure everything's being operated. But I got to be honest with you, the plan, I can't, when you and I talked earlier today, I can't say enough about the LSU leadership, the state leadership, the governor. I mean, the governor's all in. The governor's all in. And he's trying to take care of the whole state, and he's having to worry about LSU and athletics. Well, there's other bigger problems here. Higher education is definitely one of his biggest problems. He said it last night. And it's not just, across the state. But there's other things, insurance rates and all of this stuff. And so if we can take that pressure off the state and make this work, it's a win for everybody. And so the mood was somber when you first started because everybody's worried about private equity. Oh, private equity is going to take over LSU. Oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden, you look at it, and it's not private equity. And I know for me, can't speak for everybody in the room, but it was like a weight was lifted off your shoulders. Like, here it is. And, you and I, when we spoke earlier, I can't tell you the exact model and way they have it set up, but it's going to work. I truly believe it's going to work.
Let me do this. I want to knock out a quick break so we stay on time. Can you hang for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to knock out a break. I want to come back because I do want to circle back to the report that dropped a day ago. I want to go through some of the items in that were addressed, and then also the Greg Williams component of it, because you hear Greg Williams, who's the president and CEO of Acrisure, people are going to say, well, that's private equity. So we'll circle back to some of that, what Greg Williams had to say when we continue. Charles Harvey is in studio with us. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of putting in a pool, you want Duplessis pools. They're the best. Not even me saying it. I mean, I say it every day, but it's not just me saying it. Let me put it to you that way. At Duplessis Pools, the last 2 years, they've been named a top 50 pool builder in America by Pool and Spa Magazine. So that's not my opinion. That's one of the trade magazines, and they're the only pool builder in the state to receive that designation, and they've done it each of the last 2 years. It's Duplessis Pools. Great thing is you can start on the website. Really easy. Go to duplessispools.com, duplessispools.com, and right there on the homepage, you'll see where it says pick your pool. Now, you can design anything custom. You want like a gorgeous palatial resort style pool, they can do that for you too. They got 11 different pool designs. You can pick your favorite pool design, choose all your finishes. You can even finance it, pay for it right there on the website. Simple. DuplessisPools.com. They make it easy. They're going to build you a beautiful product that lasts. It's DuplessisPools.com. Check them out online at DuplessisPools.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at ReliefWindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business services. Call or click today.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you,
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, rolling along here, Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The top donor meeting at the Governor's Mansion took place Monday. Charles Harvey was there, Southern Regional Medical Center, good enough to hang out in studio with us, kind of explain what he saw, and I appreciate very much your time and your candor and willingness to come do this on the record. You've said several times that the group that was going in was a little somber, I think is the word you said, because they thought it was private equity. Why such opposition? Maybe just for the listener, right, who maybe doesn't live in that world, why would that be such a bad thing?
Most private equity control it. If I'm going to give you $100 million, I want to control it. I want to control what's going on. I want to control how I make my money back, how quickly I make my money back. This isn't like that. It's just not like that. What they rolled out is not like that. It's controlled by LSU.
So Greg Williams was there, and Greg Williams owns several funds. he's the president and CEO of Acrisure. He's a billionaire. He sort of, I guess, famously made a $400 million, call it a gift, quote unquote, to Michigan State. Lives in Lansing. He was there last night, and so if you hear of a fund manager at this meeting, I'm thinking, well, this sure feels like private equity if you're going to take a whole bunch of money from this guy. So what's different?
So the way it was presented is LSU controls it. LSU controls what happens with the money, what happens with everything. That the whole model is controlled by LSU. There's going to be a board of, I don't know how many people. They might have said it last night, but I wasn't. And he's going to have one seat. LSU's going to control majority of the seats. And so it's not private equity. He can't overthrow it or vote, control the votes in it. And so it's completely not private equity. I mean, is it coming from a fund? Sure, it might be. I don't know. I don't know Greg Williams. I met him last night for the first time. Shook his hand. Very savvy business person. Very honest looking. Doesn't look like, look, he said he's coming down for 2 games, the Clemson and Alabama game.
All right.
So, and he's sitting in a room full of Tiger fans and had no qualms about saying, look, I did a deal similar to this, not as complex, not as forward-thinking as this plan is. And so I do. I think it's a great thing. Matt, a lot of people are scared, and I don't know why. I kind of understand it to a certain extent, but when you hear it, I think you're going to – I know because I talked to you. I talked to several other people since last night. Like I told you earlier, I didn't go to bed till 2:30. I was looking this stuff up and looking all of this stuff up because it was like a relief. It was literally like a relief. Doesn't mean I'm not going to give LSU any more money. It's just I'm not going to be asked as often.
Why do you suppose, or did he address, Greg Williams, why he would be okay with LSU remaining in control?
I don't know that. I think he understands it, and I think LSU brand is bigger than anybody. Listen, I've been a lifelong LSU fan. I didn't realize LSU brand is worth what it's worth or what they think it's worth. You said it in the article. They're going to get an evaluation on it. I'm thinking, and this is just me, nobody said anything last night, $1.5 billion. Who would have thought a brand is worth that? It's that big. You listen, I've been to Europe every summer for the last 4 summers. You walk around with an LSU shirt, you're bound to find somebody that knows what those letters mean.
Yeah.
And so it's bigger than everybody thinks. Look, we become complacent because we live here. We become complacent because we see it all the time. But when you travel afar, it's a huge brand.
One of the things I was told, and this, if you're interested, the story we have written, the report is up at LouisianaSports.net. If you want to read it, it's free there. It's on the homepage. One of the quotes that I included was about the structure, and this is maybe the most detail that I was given from anyone that was in the room. And the quote is, "The structure would allow LSU to own and control an LLC that can invest in companies that will generate revenue perpetually." What does that mean?
So there is an LLC involved. There's also a nonprofit involved. To get into the details of it, I would be doing a disservice to you and the listeners because I understand it, but without the graphs and charts and everything, you really need to see how it flows back and forth. But yes, LSU controls their destiny, and I think, they're going to compound some money. You somebody puts up $100 million, you got that to invest. You're going to draw a little bit off of it. You're going to make interest. You're going to compound it. You're going to get the TV revenue share from the SEC, and so you're going to keep dumping all of this money into this, and it's going to start growing, which we don't have right now. You're taking the money from the SEC, and you're going, okay, let me hurry up and try and spread it so thin that we can cover everything, and then you're going to have a little nest egg that you don't have to do that. And I know people are going to kill me for saying a little nest egg and $100 million, but it's a little nest egg that you can start compounding, and that's what they're going to try and do, is invest it and turn some revenue-generating perpetual money for LSU.
I don't want to ask you to speak for the other people in the room, but I would assume after the meeting was over, you did speak to some of the other donors in the room. Anything you can share about a feeling generally or otherwise?
I've talked to people that last night. I've talked to more people today. and everybody's kind of surprised that it wasn't an ask, and it's not private equity. And so they're excited about it. They are. I mean, look, the governor said it. Two people in this room, two people that LSU always goes to. The people in this room and the people next door in the state capitol when they need money. And everybody's tired. Both groups are tired. And so it's a relief. To me, I cannot, you and I talked about this. Dr. Roos, this whole planning group, the governor, super gracious, super enthusiastic. Dr. Roos, I mean, he's a genius. I mean, this guy literally, he is a genius. Like he
try to tell people, man.
And they don't look. He catches your attention when he's talking. He doesn't. He's great. We're very lucky to have him. We're very lucky to have him. And look at what this administration did. Look at what this administration at LSU did. You got Lane Kiffin, clearly one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in college football. You got Will Wade, clearly one of the best coaches in college. You got Jay Johnson, clearly one of the best coaches. You got Jay Clark. You got Beth Torino, Kim Mulkey. I mean, you can't. So they're all in. They're all in. And the only way to make all of those people successful is doing something like this.
Do you have a sense of a timeline? Did they share that?
It was asked, and of course they would like it as soon as possible. But they're doing their due diligence, and so I think it'll be sooner rather than later. I think in probably the next 30 to 60 days.
Okay, so months, not...
Maybe weeks. I don't know how fast they're moving. I don't know all the moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts to this. But they've been working on this for several months. I think they said 5 months they've been working on this. So I think it's close to the finish line. It's close.
The first, I don't mind saying this, the first I was ever made aware of this loosely was in February. So that kind of falls in that line.
Yeah. And so I don't think they're here. Listen, they got to live here. These people have to live here. And so they don't want to lie to everybody because, you got to live here. Unless they have just pulled the wool over a lot of big people's eyes, myself included, I think this is going to be a great thing for everybody. I think it's going to be a great – I did say it. I told you this. I told the governor this. I go – and I said it to other people last night. LSU is going to be at the forefront of this model. You're going to see a lot of people adopt this model after LSU and try and mimic it exactly like LSU. For the first time in a long time, the state's going to be number one in something. LSU, the state. And so it's an exciting thing. I'm completely excited about it. And I don't know why. I mean, it's not my money.
Well, I think we all understand the how essential LSU athletics is to so many different economies in the state.
Correct.
It's Dr. Roos does a great job of explaining how LSU athletics isn't the biggest piece of a $3.8 billion annual revenue system, but it's the loudest.
Yes.
That's why you got to be good. But then talk to restaurant owners. Talk to literally anybody who does business in this state, how important LSU athletics and football Saturday nights being good and being relevant is.
So when I first started fooling with LSU, as I came up through the rankings of the LSU donor system, Skip Bertman gave a speech one time to a small group, maybe 4 or 5 of us, and he said, if you don't think when LSU football wins on a Saturday night, they've done a study, the economy the next week goes through the roof. If LSU loses, the economy falls. Well, I mean, come on. And it's not just in Baton Rouge, it's in the state. People are happy.
Yeah.
Saints win. New Orleans is happy.
Yeah.
And so it does. It affects you in every way. It affects your mood. It affects your spending. Listen, if you're happy, you're going to spend money, right? I mean, look. For 4 years now, 5 years, I've spent a lot of money on LSU men's basketball.
I was going to ask you about that in a second, but I was smiling because I remember a story of Gino Marino. Gino's in town, told me. I was sitting in there one time. He said, I can always tell if LSU wins because, man, Tigers win, people come, they stay, they order a bottle of wine, they eat dessert, they lose. We sit by the phone all night, and it's to-go chicken parm. That's it, all night.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, look, you go home, you listen to the post-game shows, and you're angry, and what did we do wrong? And so, look, it's not just this plan. For me, it's not just this plan. You have Lane Kiffin. You're excited about football. We're literally, You can almost touch football season.
Yeah.
You're excited about basketball season. Even though we don't know the whole roster, we're excited about it. You're excited about baseball. You're seeing what Jay Johnson's doing. You're excited about women's basketball. You see what Kim. I mean, so you're starting to get, and now this is just another piece of the puzzle that these. I said this earlier to you. I've said it in a bunch of. I've never seen the leadership at LSU, the state, aligned as much as I did last night. The board of supervisors was represented by Lee Mallett, who's the chair, Matt Borman. Everybody was. Verge Osbury, everybody's pulling in the same direction, and you can't lose with that. With that big of a power, you just can't lose.
Before you go, what's gonna happen with Will, bro? We gonna get these players or what? What's happening?
I think he's good.
Come on now.
You don't really doubt him, do you?
No. Don't bet against Will Wade, man.
You don't bet against Will Wade.
Generally, like the Cheshire Cat, man. He's got something. He knows something none of us know. He generally does.
He's okay. Let's just put it that way. He's okay.
That's all you're gonna give me. Is he's okay?
He's okay. He's okay. I was texting with him earlier today. He came to me, and after we got the invitation, I went to him and I go, man, you know what this is about? And he's like, a little bit. And he tried to explain it. And I'm like, that's look, you got to really see it to understand it. And so I haven't talked to him. I texted him earlier today. But like I said, man, everybody should be excited. I get people are still skeptical because you weren't sitting in the room.
Yeah.
You weren't sitting in the room. So you're taking my word for it. I'm not a sunshine pumper. I'm going to tell you, look, my best quality is my worst quality, my mouth. You either love me or you hate me. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, it's just the way it is. And so, I think it's going to be really good. I think you're going to see when it all comes out, and why did he bring in 40 of the top donors? Because we're the people who have been helping LSU be sustainable for the last several years. So they thought it was only right to share it with us first. Once it gets put out and all signed off on, they'll roll it out. And I'm telling you, people are going to be like, oh, my gosh. Now, of course, you're not going to make everybody happy, but people who understand high financing and big money, they'll get it. They'll get it.
LSU's got the right guy in the chair.
No doubt.
Over at the university at the system level, Dr. Roos. Charles Harvey, Southern Regional Medical Center, very kind to come in today and give us some of your time and our audience. I appreciate it greatly.
Anytime, bud. Anytime.
Let me know about them basketball players.
I'll keep you posted.
All right, it's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where to find them. Seagoneer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Go see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. They're awesome. Full greenhouses, a great time of year to get by. Spending so much time outdoors by your pool, in your outdoor area, the outdoor kitchen, just in the backyard. If you want to help that grass grow, you want to get rid of the weeds, if you want to get rid of the ants, the ant piles, whatever it is, you want some beautiful ways to accentuate your outdoor spaces with bird feeders and hummingbird feeders or outdoor mats or tuned wind chimes. Got everything over at Clegg's Nursery. So get by and see them. And if you're trying to get rid of the pests, they can help you there as well. The Aeon mosquito barriers we tell you about, they got snake away and roach spray and wasp spray and all that stuff as well. So bypass the big box store, bypass the big box stores, and buy local and shop local. Go see our friends today over at Clegg's Nursery.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, They've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Need a steel building? Proform Steel. I want you to remember the name. Why use Proform Steel? Well, I got tons of reasons. Here's a few. How about the lead times? 6 to 8 weeks from signed contract out the door. They'll get it to you quicker. Free delivery on every building. You buy it from them, they'll deliver it for free. It's Proform Steel. You can even order online. You can pick the style, size, color, doors, submit the form, get a call back the same day. And at Proform Steel, they use American-made materials on everything. No exceptions. It's Proform Steel. Maybe you need a shed in your backyard. Maybe we're talking about a big industrial facility. Need a steel building? You want Proform Steel. Make sure you call Brandon Golson, you know the name, at Proform Steel. Check them out, Proform Steel.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes with a basket full of chicken and a big cold jug of sweet tea. I make a little room and she climbs on up. Open up a throttle and stir a little dust.
Thanks again to Charles Harvey for joining us. We've got a report up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read it from the handful of folks I was able to talk to on and off the record about the donor meeting last night at the governor's mansion. Again, there'll be another meeting on Wednesday, and so I'll be able to get a few more folks, hopefully, we'll be able to get a few more folks' opinions when they walk out of there. But overwhelmingly, the consensus was very positive about that meeting at the governor's mansion, what Dr. Roos has. And, you know, the concise way of saying, I appreciate Charles for his willingness to come on air and go on the record. The concise way to say it is everyone's expenses keep going up, and expenses are outpacing revenue. So you have to find new revenue streams. What are creative ways that you can generate revenue to maintain your elite level competitiveness across all sports? And LSU just happens to have a system president right now, Dr. Roos, whose background is in finance. I mean, Charles Harvey just used the word, said he's a genius, like a financial genius. You don't need me to say it. He said it. That's a dude who's made millions of dollars many times over, okay? Super successful businessman who just said Dr. Roos is a financial genius, which he is. I mean, the man worked in private equity. He was hired by the Federal Reserve, and before he ever went into academia, he really is a brilliant finance guy. And while most university leaders, I'm not painting with a broad brush, I'm not trying to paint with a broad brush here, but a lot of university leaders are people who have come up through academia. Not that that's good or bad, it's just a thing. Well, LSU has a system president whose background is in finance before he ever got into academia, so it puts you in a competitive advantage where you understand someone who's approaching running a university like a business. And that's going to serve LSU well here. I do have a request into both Governor Landry and Dr. Roos to come on the show. Either or both are willing. They have an open invite, and I'm really hopeful we'll be able to make that happen. My guess is, I have not spoken to either here, but my assumption is, I'm assuming here, that they wouldn't want to speak until after the meeting on Wednesday. That would stand to reason if your intention is to unveil this whole plan to the top 40 donors, et cetera, that you would wait to make any type of public statement until after that. So I'm operating under an assumption here that they'll have that meeting Wednesday, and then maybe thereafter Maybe I can push a little harder. See if I can get the governor or Dr. Roos in here. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us. The preseason coaches poll is out. How about LSU, number 13? Candidly, a little surprised to see LSU 13. I thought they would fall somewhere. This is going to sound ridiculous the way I say it. I thought they were going to fall somewhere like in the 9 to 12 range. Probably, like if you made me guess, I would have said they're going to be 10. So 13 is what it is. And look, the preseason poll quite literally doesn't matter for anything at all. Polls don't factor at all into rankings or ratings or like the BCS back in the day or anything like that. So it really doesn't matter a lick where LSU is. It's just a jumping off point where they are. So LSU preseason number 13 in the coaches poll. We'll take a look at this a little bit deeper as we move throughout the show and look at some of the takeaways from the rest of the preseason coaches poll. But LSU will open up the Lane Kiffin era preseason number 13. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Hancock Whitney, official banking partner of LSU Athletics. HancockWhitney.com/Matt, my name, M-A-T-T. HancockWhitney.com/Matt if you want to learn more. Love telling you about Hancock Whitney. They've been my bank. I mean, for quite literally as long as I've had a checking account. Now, Hancock and Whitney merged years ago, but in my lifetime, for as long as I've had a checking account, Hancock Whitney's been my bank. So my branch, it's funny, my branch has bounced around a little bit. Like when I was in school, my branch was the branch on Government Street near Jefferson. That's where I would always go. Eric and I, now my branch is the Highland Road branch near I-10. You walk in, they know your name. It's a huge financial institution with over 200 ATMs across multi-states in the region, more than 180 full-service financial centers there. But you walk into Hancock Whitney and they know your name. I love it. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. Official banking partner of LSU Athletics and of the New Orleans Saints. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. All right, it's after further review. Do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Kentucky Wildcats.
First season of the Will Stein era will open up with practice on Thursday. Kentucky pretty healthy, but they're not going to have 100% participation. So Nick Anderson, the former LSU receiver, is still rehabbing a knee injury he suffered during his final month at LSU. Also, Sam Green suffered a season-ending knee injury about that time, and he isn't expected back anytime soon. Running back Javonte Barnes missed spring. He'll not be ready for the start of camp. Outside linebacker Jaden Smith, another who will be absent during week 1 of practice there in Lexington.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Cornerback Jadis Richard has suffered a season-ending injury. He's a Miami transfer. He's going to miss the season after suffering a upper body injury. This is VolQuest had the report. He's already had surgery, according to the VolQuest report. Richard played a limited number of snaps last year, recovering from a torn ACL. Played 9 games as a junior with 6 starts. He's a Louisiana native. He was expected to be in Tennessee's rotation at cornerback, but his season is over.
The Auburn Tigers.
Offensive lineman Ty Buster will miss several weeks with an injury. Alex Golish told reporters on Tuesday he could return maybe 5 or 6 games into the season. To hit the Auburn's offensive line, he was the primary right tackle in spring. He was expected to contend for that job with Michigan State transfer Stanton Rommel, who's returning from injury. But Ty Buster is going to miss first 5 or 6 games.
The Florida Gators.
John Summerall gave an injury report ahead of Florida's fall camp. 2 players returning to action. Senior end Jalen Jordan and freshman safety Caden Hall. They will not be there, and those may be the only 2 players that are down at the start of fall camp. Redshirt junior cornerback Dijon Johnson, who underwent a second procedure this summer for a meniscus tear, he is expected to return. And redshirt sophomore offensive tackle Fletcher Westfall, who missed all of last year, is full go.
Texas A&M!
And Mike Elko updated Damian Sanford's injury status when he met with reporters. The standout linebacker was injured during the spring game and really rehabbed the entire summer. Elko said he's not going to go out there and take 82 reps in practice 1. That's a quote. So he'll manage his reps early, but said didn't fully confirm if he'd be available for the season opener against Missouri State, but didn't rule him out either. Sanford will be a big part of the Aggies' outlook for 2026 on the defensive side of the ball. Returning starter at 57 tackles, 9.5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks a season ago for the Aggies. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. SunEquip.com, SunEquip.com. If you want to check them out, Bunkie and below. If you want a Deere, you want Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. So the rest of that preseason poll, by the way, Ohio State starts the season number 1 in the country. They had 38 first-place votes. Oregon is second on the list in the preseason rankings, according to the coaches. And Georgia third, forgive me. I'm just pulling up the graphic there. Georgia third, Texas, Notre Dame. That's your top 5. Indiana, the defending champ, they start 6th. Miami at 7. Texas A&M 8. Oklahoma 9. Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas Tech, and LSU. That's where you find the Tigers. So when you're looking at it, Georgia, Texas, A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Alabama. LSU is ranked 13th, but they're the 7th highest ranked SEC team. So I know the Big Ten loves to spout off about how they're the toughest league and their strength of schedule, and the coaches around the country sort of tend to agree here about the SEC. Ohio State, Oregon are there. Indiana is there as well. It's 3 Big Ten schools. I mean, aside from Notre Dame and Miami, the rest of that top 12 or top 13 is all SEC. All right, it's after further review. Now I got a quick break. Wrap up hour number 1. Stay here.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Gordon and his team do awesome work, and they touch every corner of Louisiana. So no matter where you are in the state, if you've been injured in an accident, get Gordon and get it done. 225-504-337-318-985. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888. Dial the 8s, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. When you go to the website, you'll see the little chat bubble pop up on the bottom. You can start chatting with an associate in seconds. If you want to call, you can. Dial the 8s, 888-8888. But if you'd rather chat or text, you can do that as well, mobile or desktop. Just go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You see client results. You see the type of cases that they handle. Just know that you're going to get awesome attorneys with a great track record that are going to go to work for you to get you what you deserve. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
I know how hard all this was to get to the point where the Senate actually votes on it, but I'm not convinced that this is going to save college sports by itself, because I don't think anything can. And one thing about this sport, you can enact any number of new rules or legislation, and it still faces incredibly problems. I'm not suggesting, Jake, that the sport is going away. I just think there are just so many conflicts, and this bill does not end all the litigation. I think it ends some of it, but there's a shark attorney around every corner looking to make a name. So I wish I could feel better about the future of college sports, but I don't.
That was Paul Feinbaum on Crane and Cone. By the way, Jake Crane is going to be with us, our booth hang, our little side piece. He'll be here in about 40 minutes from right now. I'll get his thoughts on that, but really more excited just to talk actual football. But interestingly, the Ross Dellinger has shared the latest on the Protect College Sports Act, as Senator Ted Cruz seems to be very optimistic that this is going to come for a vote this week, and that it will pass. So remains to be seen that does actually happen. But Senator Cruz is one of the co-authors along with Senator Cantwell. And if you remember the timeline, it looked late last week like this was going to die on the vine because the SEC and the Big Ten didn't support it. Friday evening, in a very surprising turn, the SEC and the Big Ten supported it with revised language. And now the push is to get it to a vote this week so the Senate can pass it, the House can pass it, the President can sign it. There remains skepticism. This was the update from Ross Dellinger over at Yahoo today. This is on the College Football Inquirer podcast on the timeline here for the PCSA.
I got a call early this morning about sort of an update. The earliest they could file cloture, which is kind of like the kickoff to the game, is Thursday. So the earliest then they could have a full vote is probably Saturday. And if they get a lot of other time limitation things settled, which is really complicated, I don't even want to get into it. And also lawmakers have to agree to stay on Saturday before a month-long recess. They don't like to stay on Friday. They certainly don't want to stay on Saturday. So this looks like it's pretty long odds to be voted on this week, which means you have a month break when they come back in September for voting to start. And guys, a lot of things could happen in a month. And there is fear that this bill will get somehow tilted off track.
The thing that is probably, so again, they're up against, as Ross is saying there, they're up against long odds to get the vote done this week. But the changes to the legislation, Ross has shared this, by the way, in the updated version of the bill. Some of the things that are most relevant here is, I think, ensuring the hard revenue share cap. So this would close the loopholes and ensure associated entity deals count toward the cap. Meaning, like, if you want to do multimedia rights deals, that's going to count toward the cap. And if the cap, I believe it's $48.5 million thereabouts, like, that's it. There's a $22.5 million retention fund, and you could spend an additional $5 million on Olympic sports, a maximum of $27.5 million. So you're looking at something that's just more in line with what is equitable across the board. It does protect conference movement and expansion subject to 19. So 19 would be the max for conferences to expand. and it closes the private equity loophole for forming a super league. It doesn't mean those things can't happen. It just closes the private equity loophole to make it happen. I tend to fall in line with where Feinbaum was on that, saying, I don't think this is going to solve all our problems. In theory, it will, but the point Ross made there is, is there a judge somewhere who will find some loophole or way to rule in opposition of the legislation that creates a whole new cycle of changes? Kind of feels like that. But if you're in favor of guardrails, this is the closest we've been. We'll see if they can get it across the finish line. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. I'm really excited, man. The Lake has 23 NIL deals with LSU football players, and we're going to have the opportunity to interview all of them. Might even start this weekend, getting some of those in the can. So very excited to bring you those conversations in partnership with Our Lady of the Lake. And, of course, world-class health care right here at home. You don't have to leave to get world-class heart, health, cancer, stroke, pediatric care. You can get it right here, courtesy of the Lake. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Our cousin, Uncle Larry. Cousin Uncle Larry's next.
After further review.
Our cousin Uncle Larry? Our friend Uncle Larry. He'll join us in a little bit. Larry Holder. Hey, we're brought to you by Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com for Arco Power Systems. Industrial Generac generator power. Storm season starts at the beginning of June. We know that. But we typically see the ramp up as we get through July and into August. So this is a really important time. For planning. If you have a standby generator at your home, why you have a standby generator at your home. What about for your business? This is critical backup energy solutions. It's Arco Power Systems. Industrial Generac generators. Generators for your business, your commercial, industrial facility, government, municipalities, and everything's turnkey. Sell, service, install, rent, Industrial Generac generator power. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the Lake.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Southern Classic Chicken, we take pride in serving the freshest, seasoned, and marinated hand-breaded fried chicken. Drive through today and pick up a family box or one of our classic combos and enjoy a true Southern Classic. Order online and download our loyalty app to start earning those crispy and juicy rewards. Loyalty matters.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Major League Baseball Spotlight is on Wrigley Field tonight, where two-time AL Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal will make his Dodgers debut against the Cubs. A trio of big NFL paydays on this Tuesday. Bijan Robinson, now the highest-paid running back in league history. He and the Falcons agreed on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
It's a case where you have a breakthrough on the running back front. And because of that, that now, I think, will provide the framework for a Jahmyr Gibbs deal. And with Bijan getting done, I would expect that Jahmyr Gibbs now also would get done.
Adam Schefter on Unsportsmanlike. Gibbs, who has yet to practice at training camp, continues to work on a long-term deal with the Lions. Bears and right tackle Darnell Wright agreed on a 4-year, $116 million extension, $93 million guaranteed deal, the biggest ever for a right tackle. Ravens star receiver Zay Flowers, 4 years, $140 million extension, $108 million guaranteed. He's tied for the 4th highest-paid receiver in the league with Minnesota's Justin Jefferson.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid! Who are your parents anyway? You heathen? Scoundrel? I ought to send you off to a boarding school with manners like that. Throw your parents under the jail. Cassie Spazzali.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. J-Boy, Jake Crane will be here bottom of the hour. Colin Jeter, former LSU tight end, 1 hour from right now. Jeff Christensen, the founder of the Throw It Deep Quarterback Academy in Dallas, who had the LSU players with him this past weekend. He's going to be with us in hour number 3. Talk a little bit about his impressions of Sam Levitt and all the guys. So we'll do that coming up later. It's been a minute. Larry Holder, who decided to stop writing about the Saints and the NFL and start writing about trading cards, hasn't been on the show in a minute, but he decided to write about something that we care about. That's Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, with Brees going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. And so we figured, let's bring old Uncle Larry back on the show. Hey, man, how are you?
Look, we're not going to talk about sports card grading. I don't even know who Drew Brees is anymore. What are we talking about?
It's
no clue.
What's interesting, I don't know how much you follow the show, but Terrio has gone deep down the sports card rabbit hole, and every Friday comes on the show with boxes of cards, and so we break these packs and we pull cards. And I think I got some good ones last week. I got like an of 10. I got an autographed Cal Ripken of 10, maybe. Some good stuff. Yeah, some good stuff.
it shows you how deep that thing has gone because athletes all over the place, everywhere, are into this. I know we're not talking about this. I get it, but it's amazing how big this industry has gotten. I'm shocked that this thing has gotten so big, and that I write about it. Like it's insane.
What?
Totally
all right,
insane.
real quick before we get to Drew Brees, what do you think if someone wants to start buying sports cards as an investment hobby? What's the best piece of advice you would give them?
Buy singles. Don't buy packs. Don't buy boxes. Buy the cards that you want.
Okay.
Because you know what you're buying into. Otherwise, you're just taking a chance opening packs and doing that. So I would buy single cards of people who you think might go up. If you're doing it as an asset,
right?
Buy cards, single cards.
That is the opposite of what Terrio does. He comes in with a box every week, and we open up the whole box.
It's the thrill of the open.
Yeah,
and it's like the lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is pretty
but yes, I would do the opposite if I was. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Just saying.
When you were a sports writer covering games and such, you did cover the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees, who's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. You wrote about him for The Athletic. What was the inspiration?
Well, I was assigned to it, so that's number one. But other than that, look, I covered him for his entire Saints career. It's funny, I went back and I had not looked at this thing in probably 20 years. Just his first press conference with the Saints, and you have young Drew Brees and a younger Sean Payton and a younger Mickey Loomis. And I found it so fascinating the way that Sean Payton described Drew Brees. You could take the quotes of just leadership and preparation and knowing the game, and you could take that quote from 2006 and come to present day right now, and Sean Payton would say the exact same thing about Drew Brees. And it's amazing how much, and I don't know if he was just saying this just because they were putting on a brave face in March 2006 with a quarterback who had his shoulder torn up and a team that was basically in shambles and tried to bring some juice back to New Orleans in the franchise. But they were right. I mean, to believe in him, and it really showed that Drew believed in himself, and the results are what they are to this day. Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever play the game.
Yeah. It's going to be a great weekend, man, to see this celebration and to see Sean Payton introducing Drew Brees. Those two are forever bonded and linked for their time in New Orleans. What else, as you were combing back through this, more than a decade ago, jumped out at you?
I went back, looked at really the season that made him, the Super Bowl season, and you look at some of the big games that they had and the big wins that they had. And look, he took down Tom Brady, he took down Kurt Warner, he took down Brett Favre, he took down Peyton Manning. But the game that really stood out that season was one of his worst games of that season, and it was that game against the Miami Dolphins. And they're playing in the rain, and things are going awry, and it's sacked fumbles and picks, and things are still going bad. And then Drew Brees all of a sudden rushes in a touchdown right before the end of the half, dunks it through the goalpost. And then even after the start of the second half, there were struggles, interceptions, and turnovers. And yet after that, it was touchdown, touchdown. Touchdown defense helps, and then all of a sudden they pull off this win and keep the winning streak going. I think that game was really probably the grittiest game of his career where things weren't right, but then they were still able to win. And that obviously propelled the Saints. And to me, it goes back to there's a synergy always with Miami. And it's a video I shot and did with that was an accompany to my written piece, was about what if the Miami Dolphins had decided differently? What if the Miami Dolphins gave the okay to Wayne Huizenga and they signed Drew Brees? Drew Brees stays in Miami. Nick Saban stays in Miami. Drew Brees never goes to the Saints. Nick Saban maybe one day goes to Alabama, but he doesn't go to Alabama then. And then what of the Saints then? And it's funny, a backstory that I put in the video that I never wrote about, and it has to do kind of with what I cover now, and it's like these hidden memorabilia pieces. Like Randy Mueller, who was the GM of the Dolphins at that time, they made a Drew Brees Dolphins jersey. And they were having it ready to go for a Miami press conference. And then Huizenga listened to the medical staff and went with them rather than what Mueller and Saban wanted, because Mueller and Saban wanted Brees. And they always kind of get egg on their face, but it was more that Huizenga trusted the medical staff and went that route. They signed Dante Culpepper. Saban's gone in a year, and the rest is history for Saban and Brees, and of course the Dolphins still.
Do we know? So the obvious question: do we know where that jersey is?
No, and that's why it was a wild time when in 2020 when we're in COVID and we had this kind of story ideas across our athletic scope, just off the wall stories, and so it was like let's do some wacky stories. So I called Randy to see if they had that jersey, and they didn't have that jersey. So that's I was just digging a story back then. And then instead, I did a story on who has the ambush football, and it's actually a local lawyer here in New Orleans. So it kind of spun me into this wild world.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wait.
Yeah.
How did he get the ball?
So he bought it in an auction. Like it went up for auction a year after that Super Bowl. They do an annual auction. It was through Hunt Auctions, and so someone bought it, and then the lawyer bought it off of someone else. But it's funny because I called Sean Payton for that story, and he claimed that he had it in like a back closet somewhere. And then I called Thomas Morstead, and Morstead says, "Don't get me cut, but that is total BS. I know who has the football." And so it's a local lawyer here in New Orleans who has the football.
That's fascinating. Larry Holder's with us from The Athletic. Got a great piece up on Drew Brees right now at The Athletic, with Brees going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. Do you have any other just sort of ruminations about Brees with this monumental weekend ahead?
I always just found it so fascinating because you know how monotonous watching practices every day, training camp. Let me just tell you, I don't miss going to training camp practices. I'm glad I haven't had to do it in a long time. Let's just be frank. I know what's going on right now, and people are jazzed up. Great, awesome. It is monotony. But even when you watch Drew practice, it was like Super Bowl. Like everything mattered. Every throw mattered. And just he would miss a throw and maybe have a bad snap or two in team, and he would launch his helmet and go ballistic, and that is like not the Drew Brees you would typically see. It just made it so much so that you knew everything meant business to him, and I feel like that's why the receivers around him, the tight ends around him, I think they lived up to that standard, and that's why you had a lot of these players like Marcus Colston and Lance Moore, and you could go on and on about receivers who weren't maybe these top draft prospects and were probably deemed nobodies until he started playing with Drew Brees. He made them better. Like that's, to me, they strove for excellence, and you could see it in practice. Obviously, it translated to games. And as he's gone and you're seeing what happened once he left and the Saints offense struggle, you just saw just how much he meant to that team and what he meant to the people around him.
He's Larry Holder from The Athletic, our good friend who, by the way, how old is your child who's the shut up kid drop? Play it again, Muse. Hit it. You're a loser, man. How old's your son now?
He is a sophomore at Brother Martin, and I'm glad you brought this back up. Like, he has to shave and all and wear deodorant, and he's almost as tall as me. He's like probably about 5'10". And it's funny because the disciplinarian at Brother Martin High School was a loyal listener of your show and says he heard that drop maybe thousands of times in his life and never knew it was my son. And I'm good friends. And I'm good friends with him. We play tennis, and we've been good friends. And he never knew that until I told him that on like a road trip to Shreveport for a tennis tournament. We're on the same team. And I had to tell him that. And so, if you want to get my son in trouble, you can call him and he would know.
So good, man. By the way, as a Rummel guy, how did your son end up at Brother Martin? Shout out to the Brothers of Sacred Heart, by the way.
I live in Algiers, and the only kids that are going to Rummel from Algiers are trying to be taken away from Carr, probably to go play football. So that's just the truth of the matter. So my kid is at Brother Martin doing awesome. My younger son, I'm sure he will be at Brother Martin, and they barely know Rummel exists. Outside of Jamar Chase, that's about it.
That's so good. Thank you, Larry. It's great to chat. We got to do it again soon, man. I actually come on the show when Terrio's here, and we'll talk cards because he loves that. We'll find a way to work that in.
1,000%. Yes, I will talk some sense into him.
All right,
yes.
We'll do it. I would love to do it. All right, we'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, great talking to you, Matt.
You too, man. We'll see you. That's Larry Holder. It's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson. Actually, one of the really cool things, there's a video up on their social media where Dr. Blake does a stand-up chat interview with a patient who traveled from out of state to come to the Williamson Eye Center. And you can have your checkups and post-op and all that stuff in your home. So if you're outside of Baton Rouge, it's worth coming to have your refractive procedure done here by the best. And all your post-op stuff can be done back home. But if you want the best, you want the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. Okay, Jake Crane in 15 minutes from right now. We'll talk some college football. Really interesting tidbit today about the top coordinators in college football who could be in line to be head coaches. And I think it says a lot about the way Lane Kiffin's building his staff. I'll explain next at AFR.
AFR.
You want to feel your best? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do it. If you don't have ED, great. Congrats. I'm pumped for you, really. If you do, they can help. But this is so much more than just ED treatments. Hormone replacement therapy is one other thing that they do at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And by the way, if you're a man on HRT and you're not at Goodwood, you're probably overpaying. They have the lowest prices, never any contracts, no membership fees, and when you do your blood labs every 6 months, they pick up the cost of the blood labs. They don't pass that on to you. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. But then remember also peptide therapy. They have dozens of different peptide options. And peptides, if you want to learn more, Gabe can walk you through it. Peptides are strands of amino acids that help your body achieve higher functionality of its natural abilities. So if it's cognitive issues, if it's ability to sleep better at night, energy, YourGoodwood.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at ReliefWindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Looking for dinner plans tonight? Supper Club back open. I was there last night for a private whiskey tasting event. It was awesome. Amazing whiskey selection. Even if you're just popping off of work or knocking off of work, you want to pop in and belly up to the bar and enjoy a pour of a premium whiskey offering. They got it over at Supper Club. You want to have dinner tonight? Great. If you don't have a reservation, no worries. At Supper Club, open seating at the bar every night. Now, they're open Tuesday through Saturday, closed Sunday, Monday. But remember, even if you don't have your reservation, just pop on in. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. So you always got a great shot to pop in and have dinner there at Supper Club, even without a reservation. Great chance to maybe close some business, have a fun midweek date night, whatever it may be, or just, have a pour with some coworkers after work. Get on by Supper Club right there on Perkins Road near Bluebonnet. Get your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy. We ride back and forth till we run out of light. Take it to the barn, put it up for the night. Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us here on the Tuesday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Jake Crane will be with us in about 10 minutes from right now. It's got to move a little quickly right now. But it's interesting that, at the start of a season, there's always this idea of what coaches you should be on the lookout for that could potentially end up being head coaching candidates after the season. And it's no surprise that both Blake Baker and Charlie Weis are going to end up on everybody's list to be that after this season, because when you are a successful assistant, obviously, it goes without saying, you have Power 4 coaches that jump from maybe smaller Power 4 jobs to bigger. You have G5 coaches that jump into the Power 4. Then you have, obviously, Power 4 assistants, coordinators that can also become head coaches. And Pete Nakos has a piece up at On3 where he's mentioning some coordinators worth keeping an eye on. And no surprise that he mentions both Charlie Weis Jr. and Blake Baker. Blake Baker is a very obvious one because Baker turned down 2 head coaching jobs this past offseason with both Memphis and Tulane. Weis has not yet had, to the best of my knowledge anyway, even an interview for a vacant head coaching job. But the thing that I think was maybe the most revealing about Charlie Weis a year ago was all the acknowledgement from Lane Kiffin that Weis is actually the one calling the plays. Actually, during media availability back in April during spring, this is what Lane Kiffin said about Charlie Weis and his journey to LSU.
I love his story, guy didn't play, but then just totally invested into coaching. And yes, he has this great brain and this amazing IQ, but the guy grinds, man. He works at his game. There's never a year, even though we got all these top stats in the country every year, he still goes into every offseason. How can we do things better? What can we watch? Where can we go visit? I just love that growth mindset because that's what we want in our building.
Weis did have a brief separation from Lane Kiffin, but they've rejoined. He was there at FAU in 2018, and he's really developed into a top play caller in college football. Of course, his dad is Charlie Weis, who was the OC of the Patriots and then the head coach at Notre Dame and Kansas. So Weis is an interesting one to watch. And I think from my perspective, as I look at it, as long as Lane Kiffin is in place, and this is not in any way meant to be disrespectful of Charlie Weis, regardless of who the coordinator has been, everywhere Kiffin goes, offense follows. It doesn't matter if it was at Bama or as the OC, if it was at FAU, if it was at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin is the central figure. It's like Nick Saban with defense. It didn't matter who was the defensive coordinator. It's not to be disrespectful to Will Muschamp at LSU or Kirby or any of the other DCs at Alabama. It's just Nick was the commonality, right? He was that central figure. He was the variable that never changed, and so the defense was always going to be great because they had a plan. Same with Lane and offense. So, listen, the fact that Lane was so bullish on keeping Charlie Weis when it looked like Weis might stay at Ole Miss, if you remember that whole thing right around New Year's, right after Lane came, and he brought Charlie Weiss with him. Weiss was having some cold feet, and Ole Miss was pushing to get him to return, and LSU upped the offer. I mean, Charlie Weiss was going to be on a $2 million per year contract, and they bumped it to $2.5 million per year to incentivize him to stay, and ultimately we know he did. He went back and called plays during the college football playoff run for Ole Miss. He was the one assistant that remained all the way through the semifinal game, the loss to Miami. But Weiss will be a fascinating one to watch to see if you see a coordinator in Lane's offense make that jump, or if they're going to have to go out on their own somewhere else. It'd be an OC somewhere else to then maybe make that leap. It'll be interesting to see with Charlie. With Blake Baker, that one feels like a more foregone conclusion. And I think the move last week that we reported over at LouisianaSports.net of LSU hiring Kevin Scherer really illustrates what Lane Kiffin is doing and how he's building his coaching staff. Remember, Lane also added T. Martin. And you look at sometimes these roles and how they're fabricated, or how they're organized. And it's very obvious that this is something that Lane learned from Nick Saban and sort of stockpiling coaches to have him in the pipeline. Because think of it this way. If Blake Baker becomes a head coach this offseason, it's a reasonable solution or expectation. He passed on 2 head coaching jobs this year. Goes and has another great year with a veteran defense. Stands to reason there will be more opportunities. So if Blake Baker leaves, remember, he brought with him Kevin Peoples and Jake Olson. Okay? So if Baker gets a head coaching job, it stands to reason Peoples and Olson would follow him. That's not a wild assumption. So if you take Kevin Peoples, well, who's going to coach defensive line? Enter Ed Ogeron, who's the special assistant for recruiting and defense, who's probably going to work with some defensive linemen, but you have a plug-and-play defensive line coach waiting if Peoples leaves. You think about Blake Baker. If Baker does take a head coaching job, well, we reported last week that Lane added Kevin Scherer. And Scherer is a guy that's been a coordinator in the SEC at all levels of football, has been in the NFL with the New York Giants. And you've got Chris Kiffin as the co-DC and linebackers coach. But all that to say, you can see if it's someone like T. Martin on staff, who's been a play caller at Tennessee and at Southern Cal and knows Lane Kiffin in his offense, who's got sort of like an assistant role, a deep down level assistant staff role. If it's Kevin Scherer, if it's Ed Ogeron, all of these guys are stockpiling these coaches with a very clear intent of saying, well, if we lose a coach because of our success, we have a guy on staff that we could just elevate into that role that understands our personnel, our roster, our scheme, our talent, our culture, our everything. And so it's really smart and forward thinking. It's what Nick Saban did for years at Alabama, and I think it's pretty clear that's one of the things that Lane Kiffin is implementing here at LSU. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Relief Windows is a proud partner of LSU Athletics. So when you support Relief Windows, you're supporting the Tigers as well. ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Beautify the exterior of your home. Lower your energy bills, making your home more energy efficient. Increase your home's resale value. That's what installing these energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows does. ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Get your free quote. Remember, they never take $1 from you until they're done and you're thrilled. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review, halfway home here on this Tuesday edition. Jake Crane will join us here coming up after the break. Former LSU tight end Colin Jeter in about 30 minutes. Jeff Christensen, the founder of the Throw It Deep Academy, where the LSU quarterbacks and receivers were this past weekend. Jeff's going to be with us in 45 minutes to get his impressions of Sam Levitt and the guys that were there. We'll do all that coming up. Glad you're hanging out with us on AFR, powered by Sunshine.
AFR.
If you're a business owner and you're looking to be more efficient, one of the surefire ways to do that is to have the right people in the right jobs. Well, Glow Resources helps you do that. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. And I tell you all the time, it doesn't matter if you're here in Baton Rouge or New Orleans or wherever you may be, anywhere in the country or the world. Glow Resources helps businesses all over the world find the right people in the right jobs. Like, if you go to glowresources.com/careers, glowresources.com/careers, you'll see this list of all the job openings and availabilities that they have in Charlotte, North Carolina, Milton, Florida. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, you can find it out. glowresources.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Are you ready for an internet experience that actually keeps up with you? Then you're ready to step into a new kind of reliability with Rev Fiber. When your internet works, the possibilities open up, and suddenly everything feels more connected, just the way it should be. Seamless enough to keep up with every swipe and every click, anywhere you are. So leave the buffering behind. 100% fiber, 0% runaround, where support is still personal. Rev Fiber. Visit RevFiber.com.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
One more teeny weeny ride before I take her home.
Bunky and below, you want a Deere, want a Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Appreciate our Tuesday show sponsor every single week here, sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. We are steamrolling toward the start of football season. A lot of places around the SEC will be open up camp on Wednesday, including here in Baton Rouge. Our buddy Jake Crane and Cone, good enough to join us because we missed him at SEC Football Media Days. Yo, dude, why don't you stick us with your brother who gets married during football season? Pitiful.
God, he's the only one who would get into the crate to get down there. No, man, you know, I love media days. Would have loved to have been there, but wife is, she's due Friday.
Amazing.
But she's measuring big. So I love football. I love sports, but I love her and my kids more. So I can't miss that.
100% the right decision, man. We missed you there, but we're glad to talk to you today and pulling for you and your family and hoping for and praying for the best, man. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I can't wait. Girl number 2. Where's the gun store?
Man, God has a sense of humor, huh? Yeah.
I'll have a softball team, dude. But hey, we're all look. Can we be scratch? Can we be scratch golfers? Daddy doesn't have to pay for college.
Okay.
I'll do the weddings, but not college.
There you go. That's not a bad plan. It's a good trade-off. Let them know that.
Sure.
Okay, so while you were gone at Media Days, or while you weren't at Media Days, the assembled media, who's always wrong, picked Georgia and Texas at the top of the league. That seems to be the consensus. You fall in line there?
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do? Sit here and say it's a stupid argument to have Georgia playing Texas in the SEC championship? I'm glad they actually finally picked Georgia just outright one time after what's happened. But I tell you, Matt, and I say this, in all honesty, I'm trying to remember a year, and maybe you could argue last year a little bit, but not to this point, where so many teams I think could legit win the SEC championship game. I mean, I think there's at least 5 to 6 that could.
The conversation we had that whole week, Jake, is that there's 8 SEC teams that all believe they're going to make the playoff this year. And it's Georgia and Texas and Bama, Ole Miss, LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas A&M. All 8 of those teams
Tennessee does? Tennessee thinks that?
Yeah, I mean, they were there 2 years ago, and they feel like this was a regression, but last year was a regression, but this is the year they get back. But even if you throw out Tennessee, 7. That's almost half the league that feels like they're going to get there, and they ain't all going to get there. So who do you think is out in left field?
Man, well, we're actually, it's funny. We started our true regular season predictions today, game by game. We had Alabama today. We're going to have Oklahoma and LSU tomorrow. I tell you, not to give too much out of the bag, I've got one team at 11-1, and I've got 4 at 10-2, Matt.
Okay.
I've got 4 teams at 10-2. The tiebreaker scenario to see who would play that 11-1 team, I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to have to, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, put strings on a board or something. But, man, I could make a rational argument for all 7 of those teams that you brought up to be able to do it. Because here's the thing, Matt, they pretty much all play each other. All the top dogs, if you really look at it in aggregate, 80% of them play each other. So I'm to the point now where, let me argue, and I'll say the common theme is if the O-line works out. I feel like I've said that more for SEC teams this year. Oklahoma, if the O-line, works out. LSU, if the O-line works out. Alabama, if the O-line works out. Even a team like South Carolina, if South Carolina's offensive line ends up just being good, they could be a problem. But, I mean, which corner do you want me to argue from?
Does LSU's offensive line work out?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they do. I like, obviously, what they did in the portal, with Jordan Seaton. But I do think this unit, I look at LSU, not just on the offensive line, I really believe, Matt, this is going to be the most balanced from an all-3-phase perspective, which is how you win rings, right? You can win trophies like Jaden Daniels having one good side of the ball. You win rings as a team when you're balanced. I am trying to remember the last time I felt like an LSU team was this balanced. And like we say on the show, the teams that win the most and the longest win the most ways.
Jake Crane is with us, Crane and Cone. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. So I'm interested in that same vein, what you think about Ole Miss replacing Kiffin and Charlie Weiss and bringing in John David Baker, who we don't know a ton about. It feels very, I've said here, Jake, that it feels very much like when Orgeron hired Jake Peetz. He was like, well, who can run Joe Brady's offense? Okay, Jake Peetz, bring him in. And it was awful. Now he had Max Johnson at quarterback, not Trinidad Chambliss. But what do you think of Ole Miss's offense this year?
Well, I think you bring up a good point. We've talked about this on the show at nauseum. Not enough people are talking about, Ole Miss kept Trinidad and Keewan, and that's great. That's great for Pete. That's great for John David Baker. But losing Charlie Weiss and Lane Kiffin hurts. It does hurt for multiple reasons. One being that even though John David Baker may run a similar system or it'll have some elements in it that are the same, the verbiage is going to be different. So either one of two things had to happen. Either John David Baker had to assimilate his verbiage, which is really hard as a coach because you've taught something a certain way for so long and called it something, or the players have to learn new verbiage in totality. I would guess the players had to learn new verbiage, but on the other hand, there is a little bit of a built-in advantage in that, yes, John David Baker has coached offenses. You can turn on the film and see what they run. You haven't called plays against them. And it's so different. As somebody that has called a defense in a game, it's one thing to look at the scouting report and the tendencies and what they do out of this formation, this personnel on this hash. 40% of the time it's this. It's another when you're playing the actual game because it's going in real time. So a lot of defensive coordinators probably don't have a great feel for the sequencing of what they're going to get. And then you throw in Trinidad and Kewan and some of the guys they kept. So overall, it is a net negative to me, but there are some built-in advantages.
Jake Crane is with us. All right, I'm going to tell everybody to go watch your Alabama prediction video, but you got them losing 4 games again?
Well, I had them making the playoff last year, and they made me look smart there. It wasn't beautiful the way they got there. It's 9-3. It's 9-3. I will say this: I've got them losing Georgia. I've got them losing A&M. I've got them losing on the road to y'all. And just a little sneak peek: I've got LSU 10-2. All right, one of the losses will be in Jordan-Hare, though.
So that is my Auburn is my surprise team in the SEC. And
oh God, talk dirty to me, Matt. Keep going, please.
I think when you have the quarterback coach thing figured out, that eases the transition. And seeing Byron Brown in person at media days, I was like, oh God, that's a problem.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge.
Hey, you know who else is huge, Matt? Is Kamario Taylor.
I interviewed him. Yeah, he's skinny, but he's like, I think he's listed at 6'2".
That guy could be 400 pounds and look good.
No, not 400.
Well, then he can just get Ozempic, Matt. We can find some common ground here. But hey, you believe in Auburn though? What is believing in Auburn? Like, how many wins is that?
I think they're 7-5, but I laid out a path for them to go 8-4.
God, okay, 8-4 would be a surprise. That's pretty much what I got. 7-5. Just how far we've fallen, man. I tell you though, it's somebody's coming out of nowhere that nobody's given a chance. Whether it's Florida, whether it's Auburn, South Carolina, just something smells funny, Matt.
I have South Carolina 4. I have South Carolina 4-8.
Oh, 4-8. Shane's Gonzo. Welcome back to Oklahoma. Just walk around.
Have you looked at their schedule?
Oh, dude. Matt, I'm looking at LSU's schedule.
But Beamer their quarterback can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Beamer may not make it to November.
Well, they can't protect him. You got to stop bringing in Girl Scout Troop D17 to play offensive line every year.
Well, he also holds onto the ball too long, and he's inaccurate, and they're just not very good. And I don't think Beamer's a good coach. But to the point, though, with Auburn, this is 5 consecutive years they've lost 7 games, Jake.
Yeah, no, it's so we need somebody with a staff to part a C or something at this point.
But my point is, if you go 8-4, that's a good bounce back after
for sure.
6-6,
Matt,
5-7, 5-7
right now. I'll take 8-4, hot and ready right now.
I do agree. Auburn will beat someone they have no business beating. I hope it's not LSU in a spot where LSU is going at 11 a.m. at Jordan-Hare, where LSU's looking ahead to their open date than Bama, Texas.
That's why I picked it.
I can see it. I can see it. But I would take a loss if I'm LSU. I would take a loss at Jordan-Hare if it meant a win on the road in Oxford in week 3. Because the rest of the scenario you played out puts a 10-2 LSU with enough quality wins to be in the playoff.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, Matt, you know how this soap opera goes. If LSU goes 10-2 with Lane Kiffin, I don't care if they played a bunch of blind kids. They're getting in the playoff. Where the ball beats to let you know where it is. They'll be a 5 seed.
It feels like with that schedule there would be enough quality wins. But you look at Vanderbilt a year ago, you look at Notre Dame a year ago, you look at 10-2 teams that have been left on the outside looking in. So it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion. It's how the 10-2 looks, but how everything else around the country looks.
Well, hey, I'll say this too, just in case it turns into and this could happen, like a 9-3 LSU still fighting to get in. The minute y'all wax Clemson, y'all need to become the biggest Clemson fans in the world.
Yeah, I don't. Do you believe in Clemson?
I mean, I didn't say I had to.
I'm asking you. Do you believe in Clemson? Because I don't.
I believe that they could be an average team and go 9-3 in the ACC.
Okay. All right. At Jake Crane _ is where you can follow him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Jake Crane _ We made it through the whole interview, and I didn't say you're the one who prank called Ed Ogeron.
All right, Jim Ball.
Dude, look, you know what? At this point, I think I might just prank call him. Double jeopardy.
Crane and Cone, subscribe on YouTube. If you don't already, what are you doing? You're messing it up. Crane and Cone.
Yeah, come on, man. Come home. But now, Maddie, appreciate you, buddy. And, wish me luck in these next couple days.
We will. Early congratulations, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother. See
ya. That's Jake Crane. We're brought to you by Evamore. EVAMOR. Evamore.com. Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. Natural artesian water. Straight from the source. Louisiana product. Support a great Louisiana company. And by the way, even if you're outside of Louisiana, they have Evamore. It has national distribution. So go to the website, hit the little hamburger menu, the drop down, you see find a store, type in your zip code, and boom, it'll pop up the location nearest you where you can find Evamore. Or just order it online. 20-ounce, 32-ounce, 64-ounce bottles. I love the 4-pack of 64-ounce bottles. That's what I get. Choose whatever you like best. Evamore.com. EVAMOR. Evamore.com. All right, y'all, we're going to knock out a quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 2 when we come back. Buse will have Tigers and the Pros. Former Tiger tight end Colin Jeter in about 15 minutes. Jeff Christensen from Throw It Deep Academy, who had the LSU quarterbacks and receivers with him this weekend. He'll be here in 30 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge's premier hotel property in downtown Baton Rouge on the corner of Convention and 3rd. Beautiful property. Louisiana's or Baton Rouge's original high-rise building, the old Louisiana National Bank building. I actually learned our company, Guarantee, just celebrated its 100-year anniversary. And as we're going through a lot of the different documents and things that have made it through 100 years, Guarantee's original office in Baton Rouge was actually in that building, in the Louisiana National Bank building. So it's actually just down the street from where we are here on Government Street, and that's part of our original building there at Watermark. So it's this beautiful historic piece in downtown Baton Rouge. They've added so many modern amenities. If you need a great place to stay for the weekend or stay for the night, whatever it may be, you have an event you're trying to host, or you want to pop in and have lunch or dinner at the Gregory, do it. It's Watermark Baton Rouge. On the corner of 3rd and Convention, it's Watermark Baton Rouge.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Love telling you about our friends at River Parish Contractors. Do amazing work and have for years. At River Parish Contractors, execution is more than just completing the project. It's delivering safe, predictable results through experienced leadership, skilled craftsmanship, disciplined project management. Today, River Parish Contractors is a full-service industrial construction company with more than 500 employees, dedicated estimating, project management, safety, quality organizations in a 32,000 square foot automated pipe and structural steel fabrication facility. It's incredible. Their capabilities for maintenance, turnarounds, capital projects, civil construction, pipe fabrication, structural steel fabrication. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
While I'm chugging along.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Colin Jeter in about 10 minutes, former LSU tight end. Right now, Mew. So has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
We got one more trade deadline move involving a former LSU Tiger. This one was reported after the deadline had passed, so near the last minute there. The Los Angeles Dodgers have reacquired catcher Hunter Fiducia. Of course, that's where Hunter began his career. Dodgers, our guy. Dodgers have some injuries at the catching position. They need a guy familiar with their staff. They call Hunter Fiducia. He's played in 60 games so far this year, 234 average, couple bombs, and 12 RBI. He's back where it all began with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ethan Fry put together a heck of a month of July in high A baseball in the Astros organization. Hit .375 in July, 4 homers, drove in 19. That was all over 17 games. It has been a great first full season in professional baseball for Ethan Fry. He's hitting .282. See if he can't get a promotion here late in the minor league season. That'd be pretty nice. Aaron Nola was on the bump last night for the Phillies. 6 innings, 3 earned. Really good stuff. 5 strikeouts. He got a no decision because that's how the Phillies do things.
Shocker.
But another good outing for Aaron Nola. That's 2 in a row. We like to see it. Alex Bregman. No. He was DHing last night for the Cubs. Yeah. 1 for 5, his 22nd double of the season. He would also come around to score there, average 246 for Breggs. Doesn't sound like much, but considering where he started this year, that's pretty good here as we hit the home stretch of the season. Some WNBA here, Scone's favorite.
I'm an expert.
A savant.
When it comes to betting on the WNBA. Yeah, how did Otter do last night?
I got to add it up. 23 points, 16 boards for Angel Reese, though, a night ago in a loss. 10 of 19 from the floor. She also grabbed 2 assists. And then how about Flau'jae Johnson with the Seattle Storm? 25 points in the game a night ago to lead all scorers, 8 of 15, 3 assists and 3 steals. Both Reese and Flau'jae on the losing end, though. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. We talk all the time, obviously, about mold, and that's very important. That's mold remediation done right the first time. We live in the mold capital of the world. It's wet, it's humid, it's moldy. Got it. They can help. Spray their pads in non-toxic dry fog, get rid of that. But they can also help with odor. So think of you buy a house and the people had pets, and it smells like the pets. Or sweat. You have like a gym, a workout facility, and it just smells because of the sweat. Or smoke. You bought a house or a car that there was a smoker in there. Or from a fire. You want to get rid of that odor? This helps with that as well. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com to get your free quote at parishrestoration.com. I know it's all over the NFL, but it really feels like the NFC South has just been brutalized by season-ending injuries here to start the season. Nick Scorton from Texas A&M at Carolina, their first day of practice. Brian Brzee has been lost for the year. This report from Rappaport and Steve Weish over at NFL Network, Atlanta Falcons edge rusher Jalen Walker feared to have torn his ACL. He'll have an MRI, but was carted off. Second-year linebacker out of Georgia. He was a really athletic, edge rusher playing that sort of outside linebacker spot. But it was an 11-on-11 play late in practice, went down, and they think this is an ACL. Had 5.5 sacks as a rookie last year, and was supposed to be a big part as an edge rusher of this Falcons defense. So James Pierce, who was also a first-round pick in 2025, he was arrested on domestic violence charges back in February. Those charges were dropped, or will be dropped, excuse me, if he stays out of trouble. But the NFL could still suspend him for violation of the league's personal conduct policy. And so there's other players out there. Aziz Ojulari is another one they brought in for depth. So, but man, this is another big-time loss for an NFC South team. Jalen Walker feared to have torn his ACL. It'd be a big loss for the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, it's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up. We're going to get caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter. When we come back, former Tiger tight end Colin Jeter is going to be with us, and then we'll talk to Jeff Christensen next hour as well.
AFR.
Man, if you're knocking off of work and you're heading home, you can always pop into Rouse's if you need dinner plans for the whole family tonight. Rouse's does an awesome job with all their hot and boiled options. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. So cool that Saints camp is back, and we're seeing all the pictures and practice videos. The Rouse's patch on the Saints practice jerseys. They did that deal a few years ago, so it's awesome to see Rouse's supported there. But it's Tuesday, and remember, every Tuesday over at Rouse's is $5 Sushi Tuesday. So you can pop on in and get your $5 sushi of the select hand-rolled sushi for just $5 every Tuesday over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. If you're not into sushi, that's cool. I love their teriyaki bowls. Their Asian bowls, those are awesome. They got the hot and boiled kiosks. If you want seafood, they got that for you as well. And of course, you can go make your groceries over at Rouse's. 76 locations. Find the one nearest you at Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Dodgers will be turning to a two-time AL Cy Young Award winner as they look to snap a season-high tying 4-game losing streak tonight. Newly acquired lefty Tarek Skubal will make his Los Angeles debut against the Cubs. And Tarek Skubal will be Tarek Skubal, believes ESPN baseball analyst Eduardo Perez.
You're going to see a fastball that's going to be around 96 to 98 miles per hour. He could touch 100, but he's going to stay within himself. He has to stay within himself because the fastball alone will not work. You'll have to throw that changeup. It gets a 50% whiff in and out of the zone. And also that curveball. Hitters are only hitting 105 against the curveball.
NFL, the Bears and right tackle Darnell Wright agreed on a 4-year, $116 million extension, $93 million guaranteed. Deal is the biggest ever for a right tackle. Falcons and Bijan Robinson agreed on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million, $51 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid NFL running back ever. Ravens and receiver Zay Flowers, 4-year extension, $140 million, $108 million guaranteed.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. LSU football Tigers report for camp today. They'll hit the practice field tomorrow morning. Media availability just for a couple of individual drills. We're going to have far less access throughout fall camp than we did during spring, but I'm grateful for whatever we get. So rely on guys like Colin Jeter, 3 years at LSU after transferring in from JUCO as a freshman. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Preview fall camp. Yo, man, how are you?
I'm doing good, Matt. How we doing?
Doing awesome, man. Very excited, obviously, about the team hitting the practice field. So much anticipation about this season. How valuable was fall camp for you?
Oh, I mean, it's the best time of the year. I mean, it's your chance really to get in, and you're at a point where you're working from pretty much, I would say, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. So it's really a good chance to get in and get rolling, understand the system. Freshmen come in, you've gotten a break from spring practice. Now's where you really put it all together.
The position battles are going to be interesting, but let me ask about your position in particular as a tight end, and the guy was primarily used as a blocker. Lane Kiffin he went and brought in, obviously, a freshman and J.C. Anderson, who's 6'7". They've got Malachi Thomas, who's a more athletic guy, but hasn't really popped as far as statistics. We know Trey Dez is there, and then you've got J.D. LaFleur, who is this sort of prototypical tight end. When you see a room made up of guys with that variety of a skill set, Zach Grace, I shouldn't exclude, the transfer from Oregon, who's kind of an H-back. What does that tell you?
It tells me that Lane's going to run a lot of different systems and formations and different personnel on different downs. I mean, look, everybody would love to have a a Rob Gronkowski that can do a little bit of everything. But when you've got guys who are specialized in doing certain things well, I mean, obviously everyone loves to have tight ends that can block in line when you're in third and short. Everyone loves to have tight ends that you can flex out and throw it up on a jump ball. I mean, it's just good to have a mix. So I'm excited about kind of the different formations, personnels that Lane's going to run out this fall.
What do you think about Trey Dez?
I think he's the best player in college football.
The best player in college football?
Yeah, I think he's a first-round pick. If we don't throw him the ball 100 times this year, it'll be a disappointment.
Okay. What if he just attracts so much attention that it feels like you're just forcing the issue? You keep forcing the issue?
I'm for it. Look, he's a guy that, in my mind, he's the prototypical guy who turns a 50-50 ball into an 80-20 ball, meaning that on a jump ball, typically it's, half the time goes your way, half the time it doesn't. In Trey Dez's case, 80% of the time it goes good for the Tigers.
Especially when Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss are the ones scheming things up. It's going to be exciting to watch. Colin Jeter is with us. You got to watch him. I know you were out there a little bit in spring. What were your, not necessarily just tight end, but did you have any, big picture takeaways watching the team for whatever opportunity you did in spring?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing, and I know Richard and Matt were talking about this morning, the big thing people keep forgetting about with Lane Kiffin is that he runs the ball. And for LSU to be in the situation we've been the past few years where outside of Jaden Daniels, we didn't really run the ball effectively at all, to have that balance on offense where you can keep the defense on their toes, every down it's kind of a question mark what you're going to be doing, that's a massive advantage for the offense. And that's where you can really start mixing it up, play action, RPOs, everything kind of plays off having that balanced offense of being able to run the ball effectively as well as throw it when you need to.
It's going to be so interesting to watch this whole thing continue to play out the way it will. The last time LSU had a 1,000-yard rusher, a running back, was Ty Davis Price in 2021. It was the last running back to run for 1,000 yards. Go 5 years at LSU without a 1,000-yard running back is a little stunning, just considering the history of the program and the position. But by the way, were you impressed by any of the running backs in spring?
Well, I know, look, we've got two guys coming back between Durham and Barry, but I know everyone seems to be high on the kid from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones.
He seems to be a little bit bigger of a back, can kind of be three-down back, it seems. But to be able to have three guys that you can keep fresh throughout the game, I'm sure some will be more prominent in different packages, different downs. But to have kind of a three-headed monster at running back led by whoever they end up giving the majority of the carries, I think it's a good situation for us.
A couple more here for Colin Jeter. What position battles are you going to be most interested to watch?
I think a lot of what's kind of been forgot between, everyone's talking about Trey Dez and the running backs and the quarterbacks, but the receivers that have come in, I think, is going to be interesting to watch because I think Lane pulled in 10 guys.
9 transfers, yeah. 9 transfers.
Yeah, 9 transfers. There's a few I think they're excited about. I want to see how that plays out. The kid from Florida, Eugene Wilson, is a guy that I was kind of looking at that today. As a freshman, I think he led Florida's team in maybe yards and touchdowns, and he's kind of dealt with some injuries and kind of trying to pull back. But a guy like that to be able to run in the slot, as well as other guys we pulled in from Kansas State and Ole Miss and wherever else. I kind of want to see what receivers we end up throwing out there to start the season against Clemson.
He is Colin Jeter, former LSU tight end. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Hey, before you go, you were at LSU in an interesting time. Your senior year was obviously when Les got fired a month into the season. But you've dealt with teams that had great expectations and maybe some that weren't quite as outsized. What do you think is realistic for this team year one under Lane Kiffin as it's assembled?
Well, I know the expectations are certainly high whenever you're paying $40 or $50 million for a roster and you fire a whole coaching staff, bring in a new staff. Certainly expectations are up there, as they should be. There's a lot that's been invested into the program. But I think just from watching a little bit of the spring and the guys we pulled in, it seems that we fixed the offensive line issue from last year. I think this team has the potential, obviously should be a playoff team. I really think we've got a good chance to make a run for the whole thing. So I'm very bullish on the Tigers this year. I think Levitt's going to come in and do a great job of running Lane's system. I think if we can mix in the run game, keep them balanced on offense, and finally give Blake Baker a chance to run his defense. I mean, last year when we're going 3 and out constantly and putting them on the field, you can't really run what you'd like to, or to be in a position where you can get a little bit more exotic and take advantage of the other offenses. But I'm high on the Tigers. Now, obviously, it's a tough schedule this year, but I think we're going to be in a good situation to make a run for it this year.
He is Colin Jeter, former LSU tight end. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. Man, we always appreciate the time. We'll visit soon. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Man, be well. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Fired up for our partner, Drew Brees, going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. We'll certainly have plenty of content on our socials about that. Actually, we know Drew's going to have some people with him filming and video, and we'll be able to put some of that stuff out as well over at Parrish. Make sure you follow Parrish on all the social media accounts as well. But most importantly, if you have roof damage, you need a repair, replacement, we do gutters, soft wash as well, commercial, residential. We do it all. Go to ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. That includes our partner, Pro Football Hall of Famer Drew Brees. ParrishBuilt.com, Parrish Construction and Roofing. All right, y'all, I got a quick break. I'm excited about this. You saw over the weekend we reported that 9 LSU players hopped on a PJ, courtesy of Gordon McKernan, went up to Dallas. They went to the Throw It Deep Academy, worked with Jeff Christensen to get some bonding time, some work in. Well, Jeff Christensen is going to join us next to give us his impressions after working those days with the LSU players that made the trip. That's next. Stay here. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James. Get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com. That's Darren James. Remember, that's, by the way, it's Darren's cell phone number. So you can quite literally call him or text him right now if you want. Listen, I love telling you about Darren James because of all the many different ways that Darren goes above and beyond for his clients. You know, think of it this way if you're thinking of hiring a realtor. Does your realtor run daily marketing ads promoting their listings, your listing? I mean, Darren James every day. I sit here and promote agent225.com for people to go find your listing at his website. Why would you do business with anyone other than the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? It's Darren James. Agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
He's doing well. You know, he's been out there now and pretty much full strength now. Really good arm, really smart. I mean, he's in there just grinding all the time on stuff. NFL mindset quarterback from preparation standpoint. Now we just got to put everything together in year one. A little bit late because now he's just finally cleared now and a lot of new pieces around. So it's going to be a big summer and fall camp.
That was Lane Kiffin talking about his quarterback, Sam Levitt, who we learned this past weekend spent time with some of his pass catchers in Dallas at the Throw It Deep Academy, working with Jeff Christensen, former NFL quarterback in his own right. And Jeff's good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Jeff, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'll start just with a lob over the plate. What were your impressions working with Sam Levitt?
He's a very impressive guy. You know, he's a bright young man and intelligent and tremendous upside.
What maybe are, when you think of Sam, his physical traits, what maybe are the high points?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you've seen all the it plays he's had thus far in his career. So he has great qualities. It's just sometimes it's a tricky landscape because you don't want to harness that. You don't want to put limits on it. So it's hard for me to really project how big upside he has. But I can tell you that if he's at peak performance, it's pretty darn high.
What did first of all, Jeff, can you kind of walk us through, like, how did this whole thing come together? Did you have a pre-existing relationship with any of these guys? How did this happen over the weekend?
No, I talked to him like a few months ago, and he remained pretty close to Eric Morris. And Eric had mentioned him getting with me sometime back, actually before Lane got the LSU job. And so I stayed in touch with him through his injury. And then it just kind of organically happened. And he called me and said, can you get down here to see what you think of what I'm doing? And I said, sure. And had a really nice talk with him. And he showed some improvement. And it just kind of organically grew from there.
Jeff Christensen is our guest. So when you get a group like that together, right? There was 9 LSU guys, I understand, that made the trip. What do you all work? And they were there, Jeff, tell me if I'm wrong. I was told they left Baton Rouge on Thursday and then left Dallas to come back on Sunday. What types of stuff do you do when you're there getting work in?
Well, you have to kind of get through it as you get through it. So it's like backyard football, throwing it, catching it, is it spinning right? How's it feel leaving your hand? You don't want to put any risk on receivers or exhaust them because we're going into camp. So they're doing a lot of catching the ball at the top of the routes, coming out the top of the break, going half speed at first, working on the ball plane and how the ball is getting to various routes and is it the right height? Is it coming down to his eyebrows? Easy to catch. So it's a lot. And from there, you just kind of like filter through it and what route do you want to throw? And Sam tells me, and or whoever it may be. It could be Patrick. It could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they work on what they think they need work on. And then after doing this for 35, 40 years, like I have, then one thing leads to the other, to the other, to the other, and you just start coaching and recommending little movements and see how they handle it, if it feels easier. Everything I do, if I'm worth my salt, should make it easier on the quarterback. It should feel like it's less work, and that should require more spin and more accuracy. And if I say, is that easier, and they say no, then we have a problem. And so my job is to simplify their life, not complicate it.
So what were your impressions then after working with Sam before what you thought going in? Did he simplify things?
You have to ask him. I
Okay.
believe so. I think he improved dramatically in some areas and felt it immediately. And accuracy at times got excessively good. And meaning there's a ball on his eyebrows, versus a foot over his head. And he started recognizing through some of these little drills that I've created, he started recognizing feel, I think, a little bit. And he got really comfortable really fast. And so I was very, very impressed, very pleased.
Jeff Christensen's with us, founder of the Throw It Deep Academy. It's where the LSU guys were working out in Dallas this past weekend. I want to ask about some of the pass catchers in a second, but I think I timed this up, Jeff. When you were at Eastern Illinois, did you overlap with Sean Payton, or did y'all miss each other by a year?
He was a freshman when I was a senior. So my last year there, he spent, this is before they went to school in January.
Okay.
So he spent 6 months with me.
Could you ever have imagined that that would have become a Super Bowl winning head coach?
No, I always knew that he was cerebral. At the time, obviously, me being 23 and him being 18, I was more cerebral, but
sure,
he took advantage of it, and I did not.
I think it's worked out pretty well for all involved. Jeff Christensen's here with us for a couple more minutes. Had the LSU guys with him in Dallas this past week. I'd love to ask about the pass catchers, but I know Landon Clark was there as well, and we got to see him in spring. But maybe same question about Sam. What were your impressions of Landon?
Really an interesting kid. A sponge, just takes it all in. Hard to get him to really talk sometimes, but he's always asking good questions, smart questions, very diligent with his work, pays attention. As you're talking to somebody else, he's listening intently. Just really, really a pleasure to be around him.
Trey Green is getting so much hype and talk and conversation. I was told Trey was one of the players who was there with you. You seen anything quite like him?
Yeah, I've coached a lot of guys, so yeah. But he's special. Again, I think the thing that's interesting in this whole dynamic now with all the money and the age that they're getting the money, I think now more than anything, it's really the how you handle the kids as people, more so as players, and do they know you care about them as a person first, a player second, because everybody wants something from them, and so it seems. And once they figure out that you're going to be there for them and try to help them with some wisdom and help them become better players, make their life easier, they're usually very engaging. He's one of those kids that, again, wants good information, wants knowledge, acknowledged it, took it, applied it. So I think he's got a big ceiling.
You had 5 receivers: Jace Brown, Winnie Watkins, Trey Wilson, Jackson Harris, Malik Elzy. I'd love to spend all day with you. I'm going to respect your time. But is there, if I rattle off those names, did anyone, for whatever reason, maybe stand out to you for some reason that comes right to mind?
They all have their own unique little thing, whether it's, as a player or a person or sense of humor, intelligence, good questions. So they all kind of fit in their little niche. But when it came to the work and it came to the actual on the field activity, very impressed with all of them. All have big upside, obviously. And I think they all want to be great players. That's why they were here. I don't think that they were shying away from the work. They were on time and stayed extra and weren't trying to do what some do, catch 30 balls and say, okay, I've had enough. They just kept grinding, and that's a good sign. And obviously LSU's done a good job picking the right kind of player.
That's a big question for Lane Kiffin, right? We've all tried to find out, Jeff, because we're all learning. Lane's new, and we're learning what it's going to look like here with him. And they brought in 9 receivers via the transfer portal. And so a lot of those guys have a different look, a different skill set, a different size, different physicality, speed, whatever it may be. Did you notice an underlying trait maybe that all of them share that maybe is a thing Lane looks for in all of his receivers?
Yeah, I think that I'm not going to speak for Lane.
Sure.
But I think they genuinely all really have developed a appreciation and respect and a caring for each other. And I think when you get a collective group of people pulling the rope in the same direction, and if a guy catches a touchdown pass and somebody has 6 catches one game and 2 touchdowns, and somebody has no catches but is on the field when the guy scores 2 touchdowns, and he's genuinely just as happy for him as he would be as if he were the guy catching the 2 touchdown passes. I think you have a really special group, and they appear to me to truly, genuinely care about each other. And I might be off, but I'm usually pretty good about that. And you can kind of see it, how they interact in between reps, at dinner, at lunch, in the car. So it was interesting to watch the dynamic, but I think he has a good group there.
4 decades of doing it, I guess your intuition at this point is probably pretty good. He's Jeff Christensen, Throw It Deep Academy there in Dallas, had the LSU guys with him. Can't thank you enough for spending a few minutes shedding a little light on the guys LSU have in the room as we're all kind of getting to know them. They'll begin fall camp practice tomorrow. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome, bud.
It's our pleasure. Jeff Christensen joining us here for a couple minutes on AFR. Good stuff. You can go follow Throw It Deep on Instagram if you want. Sam Levitt actually has on his Instagram sort of a carousel of photos working with Jeff and some of the receivers there as well. I know we mentioned it. Gordon McKernan has an NIL deal with 7 of the 9 players that went. And so they took Gordon's plane to Dallas. The whole thing's on the up and up. Checked on that. They had to clear it all to go. So I know a lot of people have asked, like, oh, they're going to get in trouble. No, they're not going to get in trouble. It was all cleared. But I think maybe the most interesting thing there, talking to Jeff, is he gave some interesting little anecdotes there about Levitt and his ability and getting better. But maybe the most interesting thing there is talking about how they all interact. Because, one of the big questions that I had coming out of spring with Levitt missing that time on the field to work with the receivers was building that synergy, man, that timing, that rapport, that it's so important for quarterbacks and receivers to have. Like, you got to know your guy's going to be there, in a certain spot. I mean, so much of that is anticipation and timing, but, like, you have to get reps. And so they missed all of that in the spring. And so, the fact that rapport seems to be developing there, and that's the thing he noticed, I think is really encouraging because they kind of, without even setting it up that way, it speaks to maybe the single biggest question I had about this offense with Levitt, not because of anything physical, but just having missed the time and how quickly they could catch up. It sounds like they've used this time in the summer appropriately. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. We appreciate our friends over at Lee Michaels. Man, been great partners of ours here for years. Mr. Scott and the whole gang over at Lee Michaels. Look, if you're thinking of popping the question, go to Lee Michaels. They've helped Louisianians get engaged for 4 decades. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Or pop into any of their 9 locations, 2 of them in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Maybe you're looking for that beautiful diamond engagement ring. Maybe it's a beautiful anniversary present, necklaces, earrings, pendants, bracelets, beautiful timepieces, pens as well. Ladies, great gift maybe for him, for a promotion or whatever, a birthday, whatever may be coming up. You can always find something exceptional at Lee Michaels. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Remember, if you missed, we started the show today with Charles Harvey, who was at the governor's mansion last night for the meeting with Dr. Roos. We've got that full interview on YouTube and our socials and podcasts if you missed it. We spent 2 segments with Charles, who, on the record, explained everything that happened, from his perspective at the governor's mansion last night. We have a story up at LouisianaSports.net as well from the people that I was able to speak with, who were at the mansion last night. Charles on the record, others off the record, but the consensus takeaway seems to be that there was a little bit of of skepticism going in, because you have all this group of donors that have been pulled on so heavily to fund these sports in this NIL era, and they left with this great feeling of optimism. Now, there'll be another meeting on Wednesday night. They'll have basically the redo of the meeting for the people who weren't able to make it on Monday. They'll go on Wednesday. After which I hope that either Governor Landry or President Roos will be willing to come on the show. I've extended the invitation to both, and hopefully one or both will be willing to do that to explain maybe in more detail what is all going into this plan. So we'll look forward to that. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. Jimmy will be here in 15 minutes for Auto Locks. When we come back, the Saints were off today, so we haven't had any convo about the Saints. But one player we haven't talked a lick about so far since camp opened is Eric McCoy, and I got some thoughts on what impact he may have here in New Orleans in 2026. We'll do it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
REV, Rev Fiber, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. You want to get things moving at a lightning fast pace? You got to have fiber, right? You should eat a diet high in fiber. Get things moving. Rev Fiber. Get your internet moving. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Of course, talk about fiber where they bury the cables under the ground. And when you have fiber from Rev, lightning fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs. With the security of a fiber network, so buried, you don't have to worry about the wind blowing, knocking power lines over, knocking out your cable lines or your phone, your internet, and of course local support. One of the things I love talking about with Rev, they're local, been local for 90 years, and it's residential and commercial. So if you want internet or cable or phone or security or home automation for your home or for your business, you want Rev. REV, go to RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Proud partner of LSU Athletics, RevFiber.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor of the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Are you ready for an internet experience that actually keeps up with you? Then you're ready to step into a new kind of reliability with Rev Fiber. When your internet works, the possibilities open up, and suddenly everything feels more connected, just the way it should be. Seamless enough to keep up with every swipe and every click, anywhere you are. So leave the buffering behind. 100% fiber, 0% runaround, where support is still personal. Rev Fiber. Visit revfiber.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't in the cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up.
Always loved the dulcet tones of Garth Brooks coming out of breaks on Tuesday, singing about tractors.
It's not Garth.
Always love the dulcet tones of Martina McBride coming out of break on Tuesday, singing about tractors.
Not Martina.
Nope. Always love the dulcet tones of Co Wetzel coming out of break.
No. I'm surprised you even just pulled Co Wetzel right there.
That's because Jimmy Brooks from 100.7 The Tiger is in the office next to mine.
True.
So I hear his imaging all day because he doesn't wear earphones. Like all day, it's 100.7 The Tiger. I'm Co Wetzel. I'm Randy Dunn or whoever.
I don't think that's a real person.
Could have been. I'm sure there's a Randy Dunn somewhere.
Yeah, but maybe just not a country singer.
Probably not. But I know I heard Co Wetzel.
Okay.
That's a guy.
Jimmy, close your door. What are we doing?
It doesn't matter if the door's closed. We share a wall. We share a white wall.
So you can hear it through the wall.
And it just it has it really loud. No, better like wear headphones.
I mean, that too, yeah.
We're in radio. Wear headphones.
Yeah.
Headphones. Nobody wants to hear it. James. Great dude, though.
Yeah,
man. Eric McCoy's coming off an injury. And I am one of the reasons that I'm kind of bullish on the Saints offense this year is because something that's not, it isn't a unique thought. I think a lot of us share this feeling. Shuck was good at the end of the season. Yes, against bad competition. It was the Titans and the Jets and the Dolphins. I get it. But he was good. 9-game sample. And that was with a makeshift offensive line, including a rookie left tackle. Without your starting center. You had like Audric Estime at running back. And I think I was playing receiver. I mean, Ronnie Bell, Samari Toure. What are we talking about? So you look at this year, and you get all these guys back, right? You added David Edwards. Your young tackles are a year older. Eric McCoy's coming off of injury. All the stuff we've talked about. You bring in Travis Etienne. Yeah, Jordan Tyson. All the reasons we're excited, right? We all get it. But I look at McCoy, and I kind of wonder what a realistic expectation should be for Eric McCoy. Because at his best, like, he's been awesome. At his best, he's been arguably the best center in the NFL. I said at his best. But we always say the best ability is availability. And, man, he has not been available. McCoy played every game his first 2 seasons, in 2019 and 2020. He has not played a full season since. In 21, he played in 12 games. In 22, he played in 13 games. Forgive me. In 23, he did play a full season. My apologies. But the last 2 years, each of the last 2 years, he's played in 7 games apiece. So in his 7 NFL seasons, 4 of those have been limited, and the last 2 and 4 of the last 5 have been limited. So can he stay healthy? McCoy was asked this on Sunday, by the way. Like, is he confident he can finally stay healthy?
I don't think my confidence ever wavered. I trust my process. I trust my plan. And I mean, I think we've implemented a few extra things in the weight room to kind of supplement, but my confidence never wavered in who I am as a player, who I am as a person, and what I can do on the football field.
Love to hear that, and I don't know that you'd expect him to say anything else. And for whatever it's worth, Tyler Shuck clearly is excited about having a starting center back.
I mean, I think he just adds that extra veteran element where he's seen a lot of football. He's been great for me because him and I, even though we didn't get to play together, we were around each other every single day, going to O-line dinners. And, I mean, we had our son born within 24 hours of each other, so we were at the hospital together, and, I love him. So he's been great for me, just to be able to learn and talk with him. For the whole O-line group, I think it's kind of just that solidified position.
By the way, all that is awesome, sounds great. I believe him. Like, we just said it. At his best, when he's available, McCoy's one of the best. But at this point in his career, after playing just 14 games combined each of the last 2 seasons, is he still elite, or are we living on what he was at one point in his career? So PFF put out their grades for the centers in the NFL this season. Creed Humphrey at Kansas City is number 1. I think that's not a surprise. Aaron Brewer with Miami is number 2. Tyler Linderbaum with the Raiders is 3. Zach Frazier with the Steelers is 4. Tanner Bortolini with the Colts is 5. And then wouldn't you know it, Eric McCoy is 6. They have Eric McCoy as still, this Pro Football Focus now, okay? This isn't like Matt Moscona's list of the best centers in the NFL. Like, this is PFF. And they note that although injuries have limited McCoy to just 742 snaps over the past 2 seasons, there's no doubt the veteran has the talent to warrant a high placement on the list. Before going down with a torn bicep last season, McCoy posted an 84.1 PFF pass blocking grade, the highest by any center through week 7. As long as McCoy can stay healthy in 2026, he's more than capable of being a difference maker at the center position. So while we have talked so much about adding David Edwards at guard, adding H.N. at running back, drafting Jordan Tyson, all the stuff, we probably haven't spent enough time talking about the importance of having Eric McCoy back, because it makes up the battery, the center quarterback exchange and being right there and making all the calls. And it's notable when that center's not there. We've talked about, the old line Mike Detillier had forever betting the week a team loses their starting center, they fail to cover 80% of the time. It's a big deal when you lose your starting center. And the New Orleans Saints have had McCoy for just 7 games each of the last 2 seasons. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that if McCoy played a full season the last 2 years, they're a playoff team, but clearly there's a trickle-down effect, and especially the last 2 years when you've had young quarterbacks with Rattler and Shuck. So I am I have a renewed sense of encouragement about McCoy after hearing and reading that, to say, yeah, man, even last year when he played, he was the highest graded pass blocking center in the NFL. It's not a question of can he still do it. The only question is, can he stay healthy? And if he can, you're talking about a guy who's still super elite and one of the best in the game. Pretty encouraged seeing that there from a PFF about Eric McCoy. Saints have the day off today, but they'll be back at it on Wednesday, getting rolling there in training camp. And, of course, next weekend will be they'll have joint practices with Jacksonville, and then next weekend will be the first preseason game. We'll get a look at these New Orleans Saints. All right, brought by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Y'all got to check out our friends over at South Point Volkswagen. If you're thinking of buying a vehicle, check out, just put Volkswagen on your list. I say it all the time. If you've never thought of owning a Volkswagen, they have this great blend. Maybe you're buying for your high school son or daughter driving for the first time. Maybe it's for the the high school graduate going to college and they need a new vehicle as they start their college career. Maybe it's for you. Whatever the case may be, Volkswagens are stylish, they're fun to drive, but they're also safe and affordable. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com is where you'll find them over at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. So they have the best selection, and because they have the best selection, they can offer you the best price. Sometimes it's worth the drive. Maybe you're outside of Baton Rouge. Get on by South Point Volkswagen, see if they can make a deal. If they can, isn't it worth the drive? Airline just north of Highland, SouthPointVW.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Been a really busy show. Many, many thanks to Charles Harvey from Southern Regional Medical for joining us in studio, who's at the Governor's Mansion meeting last night. Shared a lot on the record. Larry Holder was with us. Drew Brees going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend, and our buddy Larry Holder was asked by The Athletic to write a few anecdotes about Drew Brees. He covered him during his time in New Orleans. Our buddy Jake Crane was here. We talked some SEC previews. A lot of teams are getting into fall camp. Former Tiger tight end Colin Jeter was here. Jeff Christensen, who had the LSU guys, Sam Levitt, and the receivers at his Throw It Deep Academy in Dallas this past weekend. Kind of walk through what they did, some impressions of those guys. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Tomorrow's going to be a great show. Saints are back on the practice field, and the LSU Tigers will open up fall camp. I'll be there, and we'll have a full camp report for you. Really looking forward to getting football, both the black and gold and the purple and gold, cranked up tomorrow. Final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. Don't you move.
AFR.
Well, the heat is oppressive. I love the fact that we're having a quote-unquote cool down, and it's 89 degrees. I guess 89 is better than 95 with a heat index of 110. But the bottom line is we're still dealing with these oppressive July and August summer temps. And if you want to make sure that your AC is running at its max efficiency, you want River City's 1 hour air. They'll come out, they'll make sure that your system is tuned up, and there aren't little issues that can become very big, very expensive issues. And that's one of the main points about preventative maintenance is making sure that your AC is running efficiently, because if it's not, and then you're going through these heat indexes of 110, then those little problems become very big, very expensive problems. So nip it in the bud early. Call River City's 1 hour air at 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 hour air.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day. Let's go! But the real work happens in the off season. Spring practices, early lifts, extra reps. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
So we can do what we do best. We trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier...
Better coverage for less money. That's what you get at Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Process is super easy, and it costs you nothing. This isn't like a salesy sales pitch. It's not a line that has some fine print. Like, quite literally, the process is easy. You call Insurance Network of Louisiana. They take a little bit of information about your current coverage, and then they go to work shopping with dozens of the top-rated companies that they have relationships with to see if any of those companies can get you a better deal than you currently have. Better coverage, less money. And sometimes it's just having a more reputable company with better coverage that'll pay out or whatever the case may be. But you won't know until you call. And if they can't find anything, great. They'll say, stick with what you got. What you have is perfect. Stay there. At least you know. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Waiting on Jimmy to be here for Otter Locks. Let's see if we can link up. You said Otter was 2-1-1 yesterday. 2-1-1. Good day for the Ottfathers. He's back from Del Mar. So we'll wait for Jimmy. Having a little trouble connecting with him on the phone. What's he doing? Is he like doing the grass? What's he doing?
I don't know. It keeps going to voice. Like it's ringing and everything. It just keeps going to voice.
Oh, Jimmy.
We got him back for one day, man.
Are we that out of practice that he forgets to answer the
He
freaking
picked
phone?
up quick yesterday, man.
Well, just hit the little Otter Locks open so I have my bed music anyway.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
We got action tonight, Muse.
Oh, yeah? We got action?
We got the Toronto
Otter?
Tempo against the Golden State Valkyries.
I know that's not an Otter Lock.
I'm throwing together my parlay. Now, it's going to be a multi-day parlay, all right?
Okay.
I got the Golden State Valkyries against the Toronto Tempo. They're at home.
Now, they let you down last time, the Valkyries.
I understand, but so did the Minnesota Twins, and that wasn't minus 650 on the money line. And then we got the New York Liberty against the Seattle Storm. Sorry, Flaugier, but the New York Liberty are minus 440. And upsets in the WNBA are not a thing. And by the way, like what?
I mean, the Valkyrie got upset the other day. They're a thing. They're just not.
No, but it was like it was I think the spread was like 2. It was.
Were they like minus 700?
No. I was trying to find something else to pair with the Minnesota Twins and get it down. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly what that was. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, there's my four-legger that hit. The Mystics, the Lynx, the Fever, and the Aces. So good. Where's the one that... The Valkyries were minus 175 on the
Oh, okay. I had it mixed up then. I thought
yeah, you did.
I thought you used the Twins to get the Valkyrie down. That's what I thought. That's my bad.
No. Now I'm just scrolling here to see if I can find. What about the Guardians? They're minus 202 live in game. The Yankees are minus 201 on the money line. What do we think about either of those? Dodgers minus $1.86.
Tonight's Scooble's debut with the Dodgers.
At the Cubs. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's Scooble. It's the Dodgers.
They're on the road.
They are. Cubs aren't a bad team.
Do we feel better about Scooble or... Oh, the Phillies, minus 660 in game right now against Washington. Let's throw that in there. That brings us down to minus $1.59.
What was that one? I was still trying to call.
The Phillies at home against Washington. They're minus 660 in game. I'm just trying to get this parlay down. It's 1-0, bottom of the first. Do we throw Scooble on there?
I'd throw Scooble on there, yeah. It's just, man, that's a lot of juice on the road. I mean, you know, how often do debuts go as planned? That's the concerning part there, right? Kind of feels like Otter's whole, like, fade the champs on ring night deal, in a sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Phillies pick just got suspended. God dog it.
More runs are coming, probably.
No doubt. It's minus 730 now.
Jeez.
So good. Yeah. Throw that in there. Put the Guardians in there. We're up to plus 250. All right, here we go. I got the Valkyries, the Liberty, the Dodgers, Phillies, and Guardians. That's coming back at plus 240. Let's get nuts, kids. I'm here for it.
1 minute remaining.
Did Jimmy put auto locks up at Louisiana
He did,
Sports?
yeah, he did.
Well, we could have done that. All right, here's Jimmy's picks. Got to remind you about Shaw Bill's Tire and Auto Service, by the way. ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. They treat you like family over at Shaw Bills. They're the best. If you're at the time of year where you need tires, I didn't say you want tires. Nobody wants to buy tires. If you need tires, go to Shaw Bills. They'll sell you the best tires at the cheapest price, and they'll treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Okay, here's Otter Locks. White Sox money line. Twins Royals under 9.5. Brewers, Rockies, Tigers. White Sox, Twins Royals under. Brewers, Rockies, Tigers. There's your Otter Locks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Go see our friends over at any of their branches at FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com is the website. They have the ultimate recreational land buying guide right there on the homepage as well. So it's a free resource. If you're thinking of buying land, make sure you go check out that free resource at FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. We talk about it all the time. It really doesn't matter what you're buying land for. If it's the recreational property, your hunting property, if it's 50 acres to build your family's dream home. Maybe you need 1,000 acres for agriculture. First South Farm Credit should be your first call because since 1916, they've done one thing. Help Louisianians buy land. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business Services. Call or click today.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.